I ain't get to roll no weed, I ain't get to roll no swishes. I was locked up on Christmas. I ain't get to see my brothers. I ain't get to hug my mama. Couldn't even give her no kisses. Can't even post on my Instagram, cause these pussy fellas be snitching. Everybody acting suspicious. Might probably say that I'm tripping when I'm all alone in my jail cell. I tend to get in my feelings, and all I smoke is that loud. Don't pass me no midget, and I'ma smoke all of my pain away, cause that's the only thing that gon' heal it. I don't understand these women who go around pretending as if they really fuck with me. So I love them all from a distance, cause the same bitch say she down the ride, be the main one who trickin'. Got Molly mixed with promethazine, because every time I wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47, Mac 11, Glocks and 9s, and all these pussy fellas hating, trying to knock me off my grind, but I can't let them do it. I got murder on my mind, bitch, I got murder on my mind. 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 Oh, I got murder on my mind. I got murder on my mind. I got murder on my mind. Oh, yellow tape around his body. It's a fucking homicide. His face is on a t-shirt, and his family traumatized. I didn't even mean to shoot him. He just caught me by surprise. I reloaded my pistol, cocked it back and shot him twice. His body dropped down to the floor, and he got teardrops in his eyes. He grabbed me by my hands and said he was afraid to die. I told him it's too late, my friend, it's time to say goodbye. And he died inside my arms, blood all on my shirt. Wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah.
Turn on your mind now, tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control. Late night in Moscow, where nothing ever happens. Night glancing in the moonlight, no escape. White night, long day lurking, not even a door.
Paranoid searches for a fall vision ride. Under surveillance, nowhere to hide. Influence creeps like blood on the floor. Fine line between peace and war. From campus to crypt, the script looks tragic, mystic and twisted. Magic turn manic. All crew lingers, but the echo remains. Chains of the slain in eternal pain.
And here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
What is going on, Hive? I hope everybody had a great Monday. I cannot keep my day straight with these midweek holidays. Got the audio coming in loud and clear. I hope that this evening everybody is ready to be adults about this case. Are we ready to be adults about this? Can we stop pretending that the Idaho 4 case has ever made any sense? Because I don't know about you all, I'm ready to start asking the real questions, the hard questions, and not feel bad about it. For God's sakes, let's stop treating all these contradictions all of this silence, like these are mistakes or whatever word you want to assign to them, conspiracies. Let's just start recognizing it for what it is. And that's a huge, giant effing cover up. Okay, I said it. Let's stop pretending that the Idaho 4 was ever treated like a quadruple homicide. It wasn't. This was all about control from the second that it happened. They wanted to contain this. They wanted to control the narrative, contain what was said, and damn it, we have banged our head against the walls way too many times to just sit here and once again be afraid or shamed to ask hard questions. So we're not going to do that tonight. And if this is your first time tuning in, I'm your host, Birdie. This is the Hive Mind. We like to think past the headlines. We like to question the narrative. So if you are easily rattled or if you're easily offended on behalf of others, you're not going to like this stream. We like to think critically. And as you could probably tell from the first 2 minutes of this show, we're going to ask the hard questions. I got a lot of stuff lined up this evening to show you. And as always, before I do so, I want to go ahead and remind everybody, if you did not hit that like button on your way in, please do. I'm going to say what's up to everybody, and then we're going to get into it. What's going on, UK Karen, Jesse Martinez? Excited utterance. I like that username. What's up, Dina? Scout. Chickadee, 815. KS Jess and Art. Ice Queen. Heidi. Sadie. Avi. Caleb. Crime Spy. Nate. Beautiful Disaster 78. Big Red Faye. Verity. Leanne says, hey, Birdie, I made a live for a bit before sleep. Love from England. Well, I'm glad that you are staying up late, tuning in. It's great to have you here. Daily Twin Flame says, bring it on, Birdie. Stop the bullshit. I agree. Crystal Folco says, I'm ready. Should have been this way since the get-go. Amen to that. THD, Doctor of Thinkology, says, ready from Pennsylvania. Roseanne says, psyop. Redman says, I'm not ever ready to be an adult. That's funny. It's funny because I'm using a fake titty as a stress ball that I got for a white elephant gift. Caleb, Brandon, Luna, Bemmy, Jenna Baum, Mayor of Brixton, tuning in from London. Love it. Shed Evil, Peppermint Patty, Danny, the stress boob. Yeah. What's up, Laura? Living Dead Girl. I think that almost every single person in here can relate to your comment saying it's nice to be with like-minded people after being bullied by guilters on Facebook all day. Yes. Isn't that funny? What's up, Baby Firm? Great to see you as well. Turpentines and moonshine. Turpentines and moonshine? Hopefully I said that right. All right. So thank you again to everybody that is tuning in. Please hit that like button, hit subscribe if you have not. Shout out to Discord Dawn. Discord Dawn made a QR code that goes to all of the Hive's socials. So it has my TikTok. It has, I think, our Facebook. It's got hivemindstore.com. And hopefully you can scan that and that will work a little bit easier. Or when you're rewatching it, you can screenshot it. So thank you, Discord Dawn, for that. I just saw UFO Dog dropped the Discord link in to the chat as well. The Discord is the 24/7 headquarters for the Hive when we're off stream. And again, hivemindstore.com. We got some great merch. We got the scrub truck. We got some, I love this shirt, the tinfoil panties. Shout out to Detective Mowry. I don't know where he is, but got some Hive hats, some Hive t-shirts, some Hive hoodies. Go check it out, hivemindstore.com. Now, this is how I really want to set the tone for the stream. All right. We have Lavrenti Beria, who was the head of Joseph Stalin's secret police. Is anybody familiar with this quote, this rather infamous quote that says, "Show me the man and I will show you the crime"? Now, when I say this, I'm not doing this to just have it be some pun back in the Soviet Union days and say, oh, look at Joseph Stalin. No, I mean, this is the reality. Tell me that the Idaho 4 does not feel like the FBI showed Moscow PD the man, and then MPD said, all right, well, I'll show you the crime. It is rather scary when you think about how it's played out. A lot of people have this inability to process how history tends to repeat itself, but you can't see it when it's happening because typically it doesn't look the same. It's the same, but different. What's that movie with James Franco where he goes to North Korea and he's like, same, but different. That's what I'm looking at this photo compared to the Idaho 4 case. Okay. Because this absolutely seems to mirror this. Oh, yes. And it's the interview. Thank you, Caden. Appreciate that. Yeah. Same, but different. And then if you look at this, it's, I had AI make a comic, but it's like, signed, Comrade Koberger. It's for your own good. It's for your own good, Koberger. Please let us have a public close so that we do not have to have any accountability for our shit investigation. Just sign it. Oh, did we put the wrong date on there? Oh, you could just cross it out. You can write your own date. That's fine. It's a legal court document. You're just signing away 4 life sentences. But just you can do that. We don't need to notarize it. We don't need to, have anybody sign next to it. You just do it. Yep. Good job, Comrade Koberger. Thank you, Comrade Koberger. It's just, tell me the lie. I don't feel like there's any lies detected in the last 2 slides at all. Not even being dramatic. That's what seems to be happening. They made this case fit to Brian Koberger on trace DNA of a sheath. Not even the weapon. No pictures of his license plate. No pictures of him in the car. I can go down that same rant over and over and over again. Just it bothers me. And I think it really bothers me not just at this case, or not this how can I say it? Not just on this case level, but it applies to a lot of things in today's society and today's world. People want to just act like they're so much smarter than everybody when all they're doing is just knowing the bullshit better. Okay, so you know the narrative better. Where does that get you? You know all of the lies really well. No, you're in a trap. You got trapped. That's what it is. You got trapped the best. So congratulations for being the best rule follower. Congratulations for, getting conned the hardest. And congratulations for being the most stubborn that will not admit when you're conned, because it's just easier for you at this point to go along with that con. Does anybody know people like that? I certainly do. And this is what I was saying, where is everybody ready to act like an adult tonight? I'm not going to get too fired up, but this is one aspect of this case and the internet culture surrounding this case that just shocks me. It really does. I mean, at what point can we maybe start to address this part? And it's that the survivors were not attacked because they were never meant to be. It might sound like a simple statement, but if we were to really break down what that means, right? If you really think, well, what is they were never meant to be? Okay. Here's where, even in their own words, I'm going to completely collapse this narrative in 2 seconds. The second that they said this was targeted, okay, The second that they said this was targeted and then they walked it back, you have to remember witnesses, their liabilities. If this was a one-off stranger, okay, so this is just random person going into the house, take all the physics out of it for the timeline and maybe not knowing the house and how people don't hear anything. Now, let's think about this. If it's a one-off stranger, you're probably killing everybody. If it's a thrill kill, you're probably killing everybody. If it's a crime of passion, you're going to lose control and probably kill everybody. But if you're going to kill 4 people, not disturb one in the basement, and then look another one in the eye with this coldness, this precision, all of the planning, at a certain point, you have to ask that question and be an adult about this and say, the survivors may have been left alive intentionally. They may have been warned, they may have been threatened, or they may have been protected by that person. Okay? That is not a crazy rant. That's not insensitive. That's not victim blaming or whatever buzzword you NPCs want to call me. I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I want to figure out the truth of this. So clearly there is a reason why. There's a reason why. And nobody wants to discuss what could that reason be. And I think that it's time that we have that conversation. Because before there was a suspect, we were told there was no threat to the public. We were told this was a targeted attack with no explanation, and then that was walked back. They were told in that community they have nothing to worry about. Then they were said, keep your head on a swivel. Then you get a bunch of timeline gymnastics, hours missing. You only get the phone data that helps solidify a narrative or a story. Both of the survivors, they allegedly heard things, they saw things, and yet didn't seem to really react how the majority, the overwhelming majorities of normal humans would react if they felt like their life was in danger. And damn it, you better accept that without scrutiny. Give me a break. I'm so sick of being talked to like that. I am so sick of being talked to like that. Just shut up. Scroll. Worry about yourself. Stop caring. You just continue to parrot the narrative and over the course of time look like a bigger and bigger idiot that said Brian Koberger did this. Brian Koberger stalked them. Brian Koberger was sitting out on the cinder block doing the slow stroke, according to Nancy Grace. Keep doing that, please. The number one rule in the art of war is never interrupt your enemies when they are in the process of destroying themselves. And that's what I feel like is happening with the mainstream media. Maybe we should stop calling them out and just let them continue to dig their own grave. It's insane that I'm even having to say this. And I'm probably talking to people that all already know this. Good thing I got this stress boob. Right? Now, moving on. This is another thing that time and time again, can we talk like adults about what I'm going to show you in the next 2 slides? And not just talk like adults, but can we get honest answers? Can you not give us the runaround? Can you tell us the truth on why you said this? Okay, so everybody's seen this. This came out, and then you got the additional footage at the Corner Club, right? This is before the grub truck with Maddie and Kaylee. And this is the statement that had come out after it. It was the image, which began circulating early Tuesday, shows 2 women who appear to be wearing the same clothes as Goncalves and Mogan before the attack. It appears to have been taken by a security camera inside the bar. If the timestamp is accurate, it would have been taken at 1:32 a.m. Moscow Police Captain Anthony Dollinger told Fox News Digital on Tuesday that investigators were aware of the image, although the source of the leak remained unclear. Police declined to verify its authenticity or answer questions about who it shows. Separately, they have warned the public not to harass or threaten people based on online speculation. Okay. This article has every single buzzword for if you question this, we will shame you on the internet. If you question this, we are going to talk down and talk bad about you. Just like every other BS narrative that we've had in the last 50 years, pretty much since JFK. Okay. Why would the police decline to verify its authenticity or answer any questions about who it was? Why? The police are public service people. They serve the public. We do not serve them, everybody. If the people of that community or if people online want to know, is this footage authentic? And can you answer some questions about it? There should be zero hesitation. They should nod their head yes, and they should tell you the damn truth. But no, instead, what are they going to do? We're going to decline to answer. We're not going to verify any authenticity about it. We're not going to tell you who's in there. And then separately, I'm going to now use my platform as a public servant, and I'm going to warn everybody online and everybody that's hearing this, don't listen to the speculation that you might hear. Even though I'm not going to tell you a damn thing. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if it's real. Just don't listen to speculation. Dude, when did that become the normal? When did that become what we accept? And I don't know why or how it's now trickled down into people like you and me that sit here and we ask these questions, and then we got to listen to some douchebag typing on a keyboard that's saying that we need to shut up, let the victims grieve, let the victims heal. You know what? Go listen to the interview room interview where you got Steve and Chrissy talking. They're calling Bill Thompson a dumbass, a terrible prosecutor, that he's got Alzheimer's. So clearly, the families, they're not happy about this outcome. We are not happy about this outcome. There's a common denominator there, everybody. So the problem that I have with this is, why don't more people understand this? If more people understood this, I wholeheartedly believe that we would not be in positions like we are regularly getting into as a public. What's the truth? No, this person's lying. No, that person's lying. I'm not going to talk to my family or my friend because they have a different opinion based on lies. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. All I want to know, and all you want to know, is what the hell happened at King Road that night? What happened? And why? This is insanity. 4 students brutally murdered inside their home, 2 survive. No calls to 911 for 8 hours. Law enforcement says no threat to the public. Video gets leaked of the people that were killed, and they say, we're not going to verify it. Don't believe any speculation online, even though I'm not going to give you any answers. Conspiracy theorist. You're disrespectful to the families. Stop interfering with justice. Okay, you guys get my point. You guys get my point. Sometimes I need to just rant and get it out. Genuinely, this is way too clean. As I said, you have trace DNA, no unredacted crime scene photos, a picture of a car taken with a effing potato, 911 call that makes no sense, and a latent shoe print that you need chemicals and lighting to be able to see. It's insanity. It's insanity. And I want and I hope that more people that will tune in, or if you do, when I say join the Hive, if you're in our Discord or if you're regularly watching the streams and you're in our chat, feel confident to speak your mind. Don't be afraid to chat in here. That's what this place is for. I want people to come in here, and I want this to be the platform where you can get online every night and look forward to it at 7 p.m. Central, and you can get on here and you can talk however the hell you want. Seriously, unless you're trolling, spamming, or threatening, you can say whatever the hell you want. That's why I started this channel. That is my core principle of this. I don't have to agree with you. The mods don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me, but we can all come in here. We can talk and we can think openly, and we can have a discussion, which is a giant word for a bunch of fluoridated idiots out there. A discussion, a give and take, a debate. It could be heated. You could have feelings about it and not just get emotionally triggered and then go personally attack somebody. Christ. Every time that I start to calm down, I just end up actually getting more and more ramped up. Got to text Mrs. Birdie. I'm out of water. Starting to get a scratchy throat. So let me go through some of the comments. I know that was quite the rant. Yes. Well, I appreciate that. Crime Lies says, you're not a bad dude, Birdie. True crime in a case this tough isn't easy, but you do okay. I appreciate that. Thanks, honey. Verity says, my 9-year-old says this case makes no sense. Hester says, let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Let's look for the purple banana until they put us in the truck. Let's go. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that, but yeah, let's go looking for that purple banana. Pause. Unless that's the emoji on the iPhone, and I'm now just realizing that after I said that, I recant that statement. Oh, but it's a Prince song. All right, so I'm safe. All right, good. Good. Thank you. All right, my bad. It's lyrics to Prince. Good. Good. That makes me very happy that it was not the other thing. Smick says, I feel you, Birdman. I'm tired of being right and being called a conspiracy theorist. It's effing stupid. So, all right. What I have been saying the last few streams is I said, I want to dive into what is actually said by Dylan and Bethany, Emily, Jenna, Hunter, everybody that's interviewed. Okay. So I have the Plunder True Crime November 17th, 2022 audio interview. Okay. I have that pulled up. I'd like to listen to this. It's long. It's 2 hours. We're going to break this up into a couple sections. But the reason why is one of my favorite things to do during these live streams when we're all just listening and the chat's going is I can put comments up onto the screen, as you all know, and it can hopefully trigger other people's brains that are watching and go off of that. So what I'd really like to look for here is any narrative contradictions, timeline contradictions, and then listen to things that are said that can be said exactly how they are, but it can mean something completely different if you frame it in the right light, almost like double speak. Okay, whether they're doing it consciously or not, whether it's a lawyer who's assisting Dylan in this interview or not, because I know that their attorney is there. But I believe that there is something to be said about listening to these things with a group of people. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled up right here. And let me go ahead and let me make myself a little bit smaller here. All righty.
This will be an interview on the 17th of November, 2022 at 12:05 p.m. at her residence. And give me your address again.
It's kind of per usual, really
You know the
redacted.
zip code?
I think.
I think so too. And then do you have a cell phone number?
Yes, it's
Plunder, True Crime Audio.
So I didn't ask Sergeant Blaker, do you have her cell phone? You probably have her cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the number attached to your cell phone. So you know why we're here. We're here to talk about what happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
So can I ask, what year are you in school up there?
I'm a sophomore.
And what's your major?
Again, why is the major blacked out? And also, we're here to talk about what happened over the weekend. I understand that maybe sensitive. I actually believe that this woman is doing the most legitimate line of questioning that Dylan probably faced. But again, what's redacted and what's not makes no sense.
And you've been there both years?
Yeah.
And how long have you been living in that house?
Just since the beginning of August.
So how did you end up in the house with the girls?
My best friend in sorority have bigs and littles. Madison Mogan and she reached out to some of us to live with her, and I knew her pretty well. That's how I got to live there.
Where did you live your freshman year?
House.
So you've always been in a sorority?
Yeah.
Okay. So is your friend?
Yeah, she was in with me as well. We moved in together into that house.
And how did the other girls come to live with you?
Xana is a year older than me, and she also knew Maddie, and Maddie reached out to her. Kaylee Goncalves is her lifelong best friend. They're like sisters. Maddie also reached out to her to live with her because they always needed to fill up rooms.
And did you know them before this semester?
Yes.
Through this sorority?
I knew Maddie and Xana through the sorority.
One of the things that I just really want to point out here is even Dylan said they always, wanted to fill up rooms or whatever, right? Whether she's talking about the sorority house or this house. With how popular and how social this house was for being a party house and just everything that we've heard about, Kaylee and Maddie and just all of them in general, doesn't it seem a little bit weird that nobody lives in the room down here? I know they've speculated on it. There should have been, but if it's an empty room, why is it blacked out on camera?
Beforehand, and I'd gone over to the house with Maddie and her roommates, and she had Kaylee over a lot, and I saw her and met her a few times.
And was Kaylee part of the sorority in your freshman year?
She is a senior, but she was in.
So Kaylee just through connections with Maddie, came
Yeah.
to live with you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you didn't know her before
Yeah.
the introduction through Maddie and Zena.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah.
So how well did you know the 3 other girls besides before you moved in?
Pretty well. Me and Maddie and Xana hung out a lot. My was best friends with Xana, so I was at their house a lot, and I knew Xana pretty well.
What's the last name? How do you spell that? And she doesn't live in the house at all?
No, she lives across the street at the White's
True
apartments
crime
with
audio.
my friend as well, who is I think she's actually a year older, I believe.
You moved in August, and then because I haven't been in the house,
Mhm.
where was your bedroom?
So obviously, when you walk in, you have the door.
So obviously when you walk in, you have the door. Look, I'm not even coming at Dylan. I'm not. Please you can miss me with all the comments of victim blaming. I'm over it. If anything, I'm like immune to it at this point because I also know that I haven't said nearly half, if not damn near anything about them that a lot of others have. And it's not like I'm standing on some pedestal, but I'm saying I'm genuinely only trying to get to the bottom of this. And I don't understand the tone of this. Jeff H says, "Hey, Birdie, you unblocked me. That's damn cool of you. Worth $5. Well, Jeff H, it's great to have you back. Yes, you were one of 3 or 4 that I've ever blocked on this channel since I've started. So if anything, you actually get the top Tiggle Fake Biddy Award. So congratulations and thank you for the super chat, brother."
Right in front of you is the downstairs bathroom. When you go to the bathroom and take a left, that is room. Again, looking at the bathroom, take a right, that is just an open spare room. When you first walk in the door and take a left, there's stairs. Those stairs go right into the living room. When you're in the living room, you can go right, which when you go right to the hallway, there's like this hallway right here. There's a bathroom here and Xana's room right here. If you don't go in that hallway, you just go straight. You can see the stairs that go up to the 3rd floor. Right next to the stairs on the left is my room. Right of the stairs is the kitchen and the sliding door. When you walk up the stairs to go to the 3rd floor, right immediately to your left is Katie's room. You can look kind of diagonally to your right, and there's the bathroom, and then fully to the right is Maddie's room.
So it's a tri-level?
Yeah.
And you're on the same floor as Maddie and Kylie?
I'm on the same floor as Xana.
As Anna?
Yeah.
So maybe I missed that. I'm sorry. So where is Kaylee and Maddie's room?
They're 3rd floor.
Okay. And you're 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. And who's in the basement?
Just.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Dude, every other name was said except for who's in the basement. That is weird to me. That is so weird to me. And if it's because they're alive, I don't know if that could be the only reason. It seems like protection, not because of suspect. I never picked up on that before.
And you're 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. And who's in the basement?
Just.
Okay. I'm sorry. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Plunder.
We're going to have to walk you through some tough
audio.
questions. Are you going to be okay with that?
Yeah.
So tell us about Saturday. Let's talk about the 12th,
Okay.
the day of the game. What time did you get up on the 12th?
I don't even know. We had formal and we had a little party on Friday, so obviously a lot of us were pretty drunk that night. I don't remember exactly when I woke up. We started drinking champagne right off the bat.
Tell me what formal is.
So
like a ball.
Kind of like that. Me and my friend ended up not going to formal. We went to the house and then just came back home and like kept drinking and partying at my house. And then it was like more of a smaller party. It was people that we were closer to, just mostly not like everyone else.
They came to your house?
Yeah.
Who was in your house that night? On the night on the Friday night. You're saying the
So
Friday night.
obviously all the roommates, Ethan and my friend and her, I guess her boyfriend was in there, and her boyfriend, And they brought, and I believe, I guess she brought her friend. Yeah, it was like all of our friends and their dates.
You knew everyone that was there?
Yes, they're most all of them were except for the dates. There was a few freshmen there. I believe it was, and they had their dates. I don't remember who they were. They were of some sort.
Meaning?
A fraternity.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Not from cultural.
No.
Just got to clarify,
Yeah.
right?
I'm trying to think of who else.
So Liz Gaspari, VP Gaspari Nutrition, thank you so much for the super chat. You bring up a great point. Again, if you go watch the interview room that was just a couple months ago with Steve and Chrissy, they're talking and they're saying that they were writing their victim impact statements. And I believe that's when they got the autopsy reports. Like, they didn't even know what had happened. They were trying to write these victim impact statements without knowing what happened. That interview, if anybody wants to watch that, let me show you it quick, because it's pretty eye-opening with Chris McDonough. I'll pull it up here. It's this one right here. Steve and Chrissy Goncalves, restitution from the killer. It is a 2-hour interview, and it was streamed a month ago.
Oh, we had our friend. I don't think she brought a date, and then brought her date, and then I believe that was all.
Is her first name?
Yeah. Well, I guess you could say.
And
yeah.
How long did the party go from the 11th to the 12th?
We started, I believe, around 4:30. Some of us. So when you have a formal, you have a sober hour. All the
I've type of one. Okay, I don't want to skip through all of this. I know they're talking about the day before, but with how redacted this is, type of one, if you're okay, if I skip forward to where they start talking about, not just the day before and they actually start to talk about what happened. Okay.
five or six people total at the house, and it's like a 5-minute walk from my house. Like, what are you doing? She goes, Apology 215. And I had probably around 3 drinks, seltzers. We made food. I know me and Kitty made pasta, and Xana made the sandwich. Xana, me, all of us were made. So Xana, me, Kaylee, Maddie were all together. Kaylee decided to go take a nap, and then me, Xana, Maddie were on the couch watching a show. I don't know if we were fully watching a show, but we were eating, talking, and we all decided we were going to take a nap. I took a nap on the living room couch. Maddie went to her room, Xana went to her room, and went to her room. I don't remember when Ethan came around. I can't fully remember. Might have been months after we all woke up. We all set a timer at 8 p.m. to wake up together. They all were getting ready to go out. I'm pretty sure Ethan came over when we all woke up. I had to finish some psych homework, and I can look at when I turned it in. That's when I know I left. But I'm almost positive. I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't know for sure when they left, because again, I was probably still intoxicated. I would say I think it's around 9:30 to 10ish.
Did you set your alarms for 8 p.m.?
Yes, I know that for sure. We all set our alarms for 8 p.m. I'm just going to look at when I turn this assignment in. Let's see. What's the date? So,
It would have been the 12th.
Yeah, the 12th. So I turned my assignment in at 10:12. So then they must have gone before around 9:30, before 10, because it took me about 20 minutes to do this assignment.
Were you in the house alone?
No, kids.
So if she's talking about when everybody left and went over to Sigma Chi, from watching Bethany's interview, it sounds like she said around 8:30, her, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana left around 8:30 to go to Sigma Chi. Maddie then left to go meet Kaylee at the corner club. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, Maddie left to go meet Kaylee at the corner club. Bethany left a short while later, leaving Ethan and Xana, and she stopped at a friend's house for 40 minutes and then got home at 1 o'clock and saw Jenna and Dylan on the couch watching Vampire Diaries. But when we listen to this right here, it sounds like Dylan is now saying 9:30 or 10.
So then they must have gone before around 9:30, before 10, because it took me about 20 minutes to do this assignment.
It's a whole hour.
Were you in the
off.
house alone?
No, Kaylee was upstairs in her room. She was getting ready for the club. One of her friends came over. I can't remember her name, but I met her a few times. She's super nice. They were upstairs hanging out, and they were all getting ready. I got ready, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go over to I left. If I turn this in, I got ready. So it means I probably left around 10:30.
What was the class assignment you were turning in?
It's Psychology 215.
Did you have a deadline at midnight or something?
Yeah, that's when I had. Well, I guess it's supposed to be turned in Friday, so I was trying to turn it in.
To get some credit?
Yes, some credit at least.
So you think you left at
10:30 because I had to get ready. This assignment obviously is turned in 10:12. I'm going to say around 10:30 is when I left.
When you left, who was in the house?
Kaylee, I believe, and I know Kaylee was for sure, and I don't fully remember if her friend was still there.
What's
pretty
your friend's
sure.
name again?
I don't remember her name. She's super nice. I met her. I mean, she's an 8, so like I'm not like close with her, but I know of her, and she's super nice. I just can't remember her name. So, my house is like a 2-minute walk. Like it's right in front of our house, pretty much. Across the street up the little green hill. I guess you would know.
This is 4 days later. This is 4 days later. Holy shit. It's just wild to think about that. 4 days later.
I was walking there, the White's apartment, like the parking lot between the street and the Whites. I was walking down there, I saw Maddie, and she was holding a box of White Claws, I believe. And as she was walking, I was like, oh, like, where are you going? Like, are you not staying? She goes, no, I'm going to go to the club with Katie. I was like, oh, okay, well, have fun. I don't know when they left. I didn't go home. I just went straight to the
Real quick.
The other thing, too, is so if she's got a box of White Claws and she's going to go to the club with Kaylee, I don't know of any college bars that would have a bouncer that would let you bring your own drinks in. So that's a little detail that I've never really noticed. Like, so did she stop back at home and drop them off? It seems like they were maybe passing on the walk by, but she could have. Did they meet at the right? It's just there's little things. How does she remember that? How does she remember a White Claw box in somebody's hands if she's already that intoxicated? She doesn't really remember. Already is given her story.
The route you took to go down to King and cross? Or
you know those little stairs that's in between, the tiny little stairs that's next to the Whites?
Yeah.
Those tiny stairs. I walked down that, walked the Whites parking lot, and then up that green hill.
Okay, so when you came out your front, I'm assuming you came out the front door
Yes.
into the parking lot.
Yes.
Cross Queen.
Yes.
Took that short little path
Yes.
between the Whites and the blue apartments
Yes.
to your left.
Uh-huh.
What point in there is where you ran into Maddie?
Right when that parking lot, like that big blue dumpster, I'm almost positive is where I met her, and I was like, oh, like, what are you doing? She doesn't go to the club.
So you were already down then?
Yeah, I was down the parking lot, and
Okay.
then like right where it ends in that blue dumpster is where I saw her.
Was she headed home with the White Claws first?
Yes, she had the White Claws with her, and she was
That explains it.
walking home. And I believe it was like one of those mini 6-packs, not like the huge ones.
And we're not here. We're not.
Yeah, I know.
I know. You know that.
So I go through there because they close their gates at a certain time, so you have to go through the front door and get these wristbands. I go through the door. I called Xana. It's like, oh, like what apartment you're at? Because they were at apartments beforehand, and they go apartment 4. So I go down there. Ethan's there. One of their friends is there. There's some girls in there I don't know, but like I've seen before. They're all sorority, fraternity people. With Xana and is there with us as well, which is she has a guy, super nice guy, met him a lot, like great friend. He was with us too. Me and were kind of going in and out of the lodge, which is the main place, and back to the apartment just to see like how it was going, like if it was going or not, which it really wasn't that night. I mean, there was not a lot of people, which is kind of weird.
Was there a football game going on at the same time though?
No.
Oh,
I don't believe
there was
so.
a late game that night.
Maybe there still was. I can't
against
remember.
Davis. So I think it started at 8:30.
Oh, okay.
It was a late
I
game,
don't know.
It started
So it was at 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the Washington State game that was that
was
game.
Yeah, so that I think that should have been done before Sigma Chi, I believe. Yeah,
Sorry.
that's
That was
fine.
a
Yeah,
late
I just
game.
didn't know. So me and Gib obviously going back and forth, kind of looking around. Eventually they go into the room, apartment, which I think it is, I can't remember, I think it's apartment. I can't fully remember. He's a super nice guy, totally trust him, like I've met him a lot. They were hanging out in there. I remember Ethan was really worried about his, because they also had their formal that night, and so as her date. He was texting her a lot because she wasn't answering her, and apparently she'd been calling. Crying.
This is
Ethan
Ethan?
Chapman. Yeah.
No, I know who you're talking about, but you're talking about Ethan calling it.
Chapman. I can't remember how to say it. Apparently she'd been crying, and she wasn't answering her phone. And he was just like texting her a lot, really worried. I ended up talking to me after everything happened, and she's like, no, like I just fell asleep and I forgot to text, and the last thing he said was like, I love you. That's like way later. But so I remember that, and then I remember.
Did he say why she was upset?
No, he didn't know why, and he was really worried about her. He's very protective. Like he was like an older brother, like a big brother to me too. Like he was super protective of all of us. And then I believe it was me that went to the lodge. And I remember saying like, hey, do you want to go to is one of Xana's best friends. We met through Xana. And she was I guess she wasn't at the house. She has 2 roommates. One of them I know was there, and they were just having, I think there's like 5 or 6 people total at the house, and it's like a 5-minute walk from my house. So I remember telling you, and like, do you want to go later? We just called it. They ended up staying, so me and ended up walking there. It's like a 5-minute walk as with him. We go in there, it's...
You know what? I just saw a really good comment by Ronnie that says, I hate to admit how much that I don't trust Dylan, because if she's innocent, this is all more effed up. Ugh, there's no way she's this unemotional. And I think that that's something that I myself, I go back and forth. I think many people do, where did she change her statement? Did MPD ask her leading questions? Right when the 911 call, body cam goes on, when they're standing out on the street in front of the house, you hear her say they were in the main room. Well, then it turned into, nope, Kaylee was upstairs playing with the dog. So she also talked about with the firecracker hearing a bang. Well, the word bang turned into thud. Those are little things that can completely steer a narrative. But to Ronnie's comment, I agree. If she is innocent of all this, it almost makes it, well, it's just as confusing, just in the opposite way then.
Obviously me and best friend, and then twin, and then there's also him, I believe. I'm almost positive that's who was there. Again, I kept drinking more. We were playing Rage Cage drinking game, so I don't know fully how much I had to drink. I obviously was probably drunk at this point.
Prior to that point, how much you had to drink? Up to the point that you don't remember, how much had you had to drink?
So like after the nap, I had about 3 or 4 drinks of seltzers. I'm pretty sure.
Like what type of seltzer?
Like just White Claws.
Is that 8%?
Those are 5%.
Or yours at 5, so you're doing the lower end.
Yeah, that's what we usually would always drink.
So this isn't a question of interrogation. It isn't a jam up. Were you doing anything else besides the alcohol?
Audio.
No, me and never have. Dan and Ethan, they would take Adderall every now and then, but that was the only thing they would ever do. Maddie would never ever Kaylee, I remember her talking about it once when she did Adderall, but that was it. I mean, Zan and Ethan were very smart. They were not like stupid with drugs at all. I remember all I heard about of them doing was Adderall. That's the only thing I've heard of. Me and were never we just never touched that stuff.
You just did alcohol. You just
just drank. That was the only thing we did. So we're at our place, obviously having a good time. My friend, do you know what a Borg is? People do Borgs. It's like those huge water jugs you pour alcohol, put vodka and me or whatever. It's supposed to get you really drunk or whatever. Obviously had drinking a whole Borg, and she was very drunk, and I didn't want her to walk home. So she had been talking to this guy named he's a super sweet guy. I really like him. I was like, okay, well, I can take with me to go home.
It's almost like when Dylan says that, just giving quick commentary here. When Dylan says, really sweet guy, really liked him a lot, or this, this person, she's super nice, the really nice guy. Okay. Is that clearing them? Is that giving some sort of validity to how they're not involved because I liked them, which then if you really start to think deeper on that, so why are you saying they shouldn't be worried about them? Do you know who did it? And that's why you have this, internal feeling to say super nice, really liked him. That's where my head went.
And we can watch Vampire Diaries and just cook popcorn, So every fraternity, they have sobros, which are freshmen that are supposed to be sober for that night so they can drive people home. I tell him, I was like, hey, can you get a sobro so we don't have to walk? I mean, the walk's not terrible, but she can not walk very well. We get the sobro, was going to come with us, my friend, but she ended up staying at, I believe. I don't know where she went exactly because of me got in the car. I don't know who the guys were that drove us, but I trust them because I knew them. I trusted him. They were all part of it. They're known as being super nice, trustworthy guys. We get home. No one is home. So we go upstairs. The house is kind of a mess, obviously, because we just had that party Friday. Saturday, we were drinking, whatever.
What time is this that you go home?
Oh, let me check again. I don't know if I fully have a photo.
What do you call the freshman that stays
True
sober?
Crime
Sobros.
Audio.
Sobros.
Yeah. So it was definitely after 1 because I have a video of dancing at 1. So I guess at first I thought it was 1, but it could have been 1:30. I don't know. I was intoxicated. I don't fully remember. I'm gonna say around 1:15 to 1:30ish. That could be wrong.
Sunday morning.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Do you know who the sober brother was who gave you the ride?
No, but if needed, I can text him. He would know.
Okay.
So we get home. There's popcorn. I always make just a bowl of popcorn for me and I put Vampire Diaries on. I don't know for sure, but I think around 20 minutes later.
That's a really good point. If it wasn't 1 o'clock and it was 1:15 to 1:30ish, I guess, or whatever she said, she's basically saying that Sobro took them from the end of Taylor, Linda Lane to 1122. Do we see that car? That is a great catch, SoCal Girl. 1:15 to 1:30.
Came home and we just laid down and watched Vampire Diaries. When I first did this interview, I thought it was around 2 when I went to bed, but it could have been later. I don't fully remember. Again, I was kind of out of it. I was drunk. At some point, I did go into my bed. It ended up sobering up, and she walked home. I told her she could get a ride, but she wanted to walk home. I was like, okay.
Do you know what time that would have been?
I don't know when she left. I mean, that was a normal thing. You were never worried in Moscow. It was normal just to walk home. I don't know what time I went to bed. I have no clue. I remember waking up somewhere around 2 and 2:30. Again, I don't fully remember. I heard Maddie and Kaylee come home. Again, the walls are pretty thin. You can hear everything.
Oh my God. I just can't take it anymore. I can't take this anymore. Where's the stress boob? Oh, man. Think she might have went to bed later than 2, but then she's like, you know what? I don't know. I think I woke up between 2 and 2:30. Don't even know when I went to bed. Walls are really thin, and I heard them come home. Christ.
So Maddie and Keely get home from the club. I noticed they have grub truck, so it's just that video that's going around. It's them at Grub Chuck. They usually just get mac and cheese. So I can tell they got home from Grub Chuck because they got mac and cheese and they take an Uber home. I have like a video of us. Let me see what time that's at.
Oh, you got up and took a video?
I went.
See, right there. This woman, she's either very, very skilled at her job. Well, she most likely is very skilled at her job. She's clearly done this before. This is a big case. This woman has so much more patience than I do when it comes to things like these. I've always said I'd be a shit reporter when I'd have to interview somebody and I know they're stonewalling me. I'd be like, all right, well, you're gonna answer that question. Or in situations like this, listen to how strategic she waited to kind of throw a little jab. Okay, listen to this.
So I can tell they got home from Grub Chuck because they got mac and cheese and they take an Uber home. I have like a video of us. Let me see what time that's at.
Oh, you got up and took a video?
I went up to, so
Right
pretty
there.
much, I don't know where Beth was, but she was upstairs with Maddie and Kaylee in Kaylee's room. I went up there to say hi and hang out with them for a little bit. The video I have is at 3:10, so I guess it was a lot later than I thought. Sorry, I don't know. This video I have is at 3:10.
Do we have those videos?
It was on your phone, right?
Yes, it was on my phone, so you should be able to have all this.
True crime audio.
Does anyone else want to text and ask if he's still
So it's the Uber driver that we all know.
Is that 3:11 a.m.?
That was 3:10. I thought it was around 2:30.
What were they asking to text Eric for?
To take us back to Grub Chuck so we could get more food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Grub Chuck was like the best place to go when we were drunk.
So it's a little bit weird, right? I know Sherlock Rome's just put out a recent video. I think it was today or yesterday. Last night I had shown the original Grub Truck footage with the timestamps. Not here to debate the timestamps, but you do see this night bot. Somebody had asked for the time. It says 3:43. It's right when the girls leave. So if they were texting Eric at 3:10 to take them back to the Grub Truck because they wanted more food, that's interesting. Again, you have to maybe discern on what were you told the truth about, what were you not. Just because the bars close at 2, or maybe just because the food truck's hours say at 2. I mean, who's to think that, a Grub Truck that's got money to be made and money to be had wouldn't stay open until the rush is over? Just again, thinking out loud. Go check out Sherlock's video. He does a great job on it.
Who was in the house at 3:10 a.m.?
I don't know where Zen and Ethan are.
Okay.
I don't know if they came home or not, but I know for sure. I know in the video we can hear her laughing. So it's me, Kaylee, and Maddie. That is who's in that video. And I have a picture of Maddie.
Just to make sure that we have that, could you text that to myself?
Yes, I have a picture of Maddie too, and I'll save both of these and send them to you.
Thank you.
And I can screenshot the timestamp too. I can send it to you after this whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's fine.
And that's on the 13th of November.
That's on Sunday. I guess it's really early Sunday. So I guess that was at 3:10. I thought it was earlier. I didn't know that.
Before we go farther, you said when you got home with, you said no one was home.
No one was
You
home.
even went upstairs.
No, I never went upstairs.
Oh,
But because Kaylee and Maddie came home later, that's how I knew they were not there that time.
so what about Ethan and Zena?
Their door was open. I could see that. I could tell that they were not home.
Their door was open at that point. when you
Yes,
came?
sorry, I can't fully remember. I don't know for sure if their door was open or not, but I believe they were not there. I mean, maybe they were, but at that moment, I believe they were not.
Okay.
So obviously,
Let me step back because that's a fair question. So when you were talking about Ethan trying to get hold of his sister, did he leave your group to go check on his sister?
I don't think so. I don't know. I think he thought that she might be either at her house or like at the formal, wherever it was. I don't really know. I don't remember talking to him a lot. Me and yes left that little group to go into the lodge. So I don't know where him and Xana
You
went
never
after.
saw him again.
No. I did not see him again. So after the video of me, Maddie, Kaylee, and in that room, I did text, and I'm gonna guess you have those text. I can screenshot all of it to you.
Okay.
It's interesting how she says me, Maddie, and Kaylee were in that room. She doesn't say the living room. She doesn't say the main room. She says in that room. The other part too is this whole Maisie, Ethan texting each other, worried about something, is really starting to become more prominent in this interview.
I texted. I was like, "Hey, are you driving tonight?" He goes, "Yes, I am." And then me and Kaylee were like, "We're not going to go anymore." Like, we just didn't feel like going, so we never did. I went into bed. I have a big habit of locking my door because I watch Criminal Minds a lot, and it kind of messes up my mind, so I get freaked out about everything pretty much. I don't remember if I locked my door or not that night, but pretty much there was music playing in the living room, which is very normal. People come out, like our roommates come home drunk with some people, you play music. That's normal on the weekends. Not weird at all. I could tell it was Kaylee by her voice. I don't know how I knew it was her, but I'm pretty sure it was from her voice. And I also knew that Murphy was with her. So that's how I knew it was for sure Kaylee.
Her dog.
Yes, her dog. And
what time did you go to bed? What time do you think you went to bed?
I have no clue. Somewhere after that video of 3:10.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't fully remember.
When did you text, or that would help us?
Yes, I'll look at that.
Because you went to bed after you texted him?
Yes, I went to bed. I was walking downstairs when I texted him, so it would have been like right after.
And were you using your normal phone texting to talk
Yes.
to these people, or were you using an app or something like that?
What do you mean texting? Like,
So there's multiple ways to text people. You can either text by using your phone through
Yeah.
actual messages, use Facebook, Snapchat.
yeah. So the main 2 ways we text is Snapchat and text.
Okay.
I switch between both. Like, it's never like, oh, I only text this. Like, I don't, like it's both kind of.
Okay. Do you have a preference on which one you normally use?
No, it just is like if
Or
they.
does it depend on who you're talking to?
I guess it would be. It depends who I'm talking to and how important it is. Usually, if it's more important, I go text. But then also like I'll text like my high school friends through more text and Snapchat. Like it just is random. I would say nothing really.
It's
why.
not difficult to transition between the two.
No, it's not. Like my friends, I'll text through Snapchat. Also texting her through messages. It just is random.
Okay.
So
could there be chances we could see gaps when they look at your phone, anything like that? They could see text messages through your normal phone here, no text messages in them maybe for a day or two because you're using something.
Yeah. I thought, are you guys able to go like download my Snapchat stuff in there, or is that not possible?
So I've been traveling these last couple of days, so I don't know everything that's been done up there in Moscow and what they've been able to find.
Okay.
But if I have information that it's normal for you to do certain things, then it helps them.
Because there is a gap on your cell phone. There's a gap of communications on your cell phone from Saturday, but it resumes normally on Sunday.
Yeah, that's probably why. If there is any way that you guys could download that stuff, I would really like you to have that just so you can get a better timeline and figure anything out if that's possible.
I don't want to interject too much, but I just got an email from Bill Thompson about specifically Snapchat accounts, all the accounts that you would have on your email, because I was talking to the detective later about maybe you guys just deleting those accounts so that you're not getting hounded by, the trolls out there. And he had a meeting this morning with a forensic detective, and he says, we prefer that the accounts not be deleted. If it would help, we could get your client's login information to Detective Mowry, and he could then.
Is anybody else thinking that it's really weird that 4 or 5 days after, this woman's calling people trolls? For the trolls out there? If that's her lawyer, listen, lady, your client didn't call 911 for 8 hours and just admitted she doesn't remember shit and that there's paper thin walls. Oh, there's 4 people stabbed.
Change the passwords so your clients wouldn't have to worry about the accounts.
Okay.
So that's just something for you guys to discuss and figure out that's what they're wanting to know, what you want to do with that. That's easier to just give them your passwords and they can just log in. But I'll think about that.
Okay.
The one thing with Snapchat is when you do send a text, it can go away. So I'm going to guess you guys can still download that stuff maybe.
If not, but they can also request through Snapchat for preservation.
Okay,
and see if it would still be there when they get.
That's the main thing, because I believe I called Ethan through Snapchat, not because like some people only have their Snapchat, I don't have their phone, which is kind of weird. That's how it is.
What's your login information on Snapchat?
Like my user. So it would be
Plunder, true crime.
Is this interview sped up, or are they talking that fast? I have it at normal speed, but Christ.
Audio.
Yes. I have to figure out my password again, but it's probably going to be I mean, I can reset it so you got a password. I'll try and figure that out.
So your password would.
I would have to. I've had a lot of passwords, so I have to figure that out.
And I asked you before I forget because I will,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm older. Do you happen to know your roommates' passwords onto their cell phones?
No, I don't.
Ever seen them put in their pen or do it?
No, usually you don't. You're not really logging out of Snapchat.
I'm just talking just into their phones in general.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if they have passwords or not. I have no clue. May or may not know Maddie's because like we're all super close, but Maddie, so they had like that a little bit stronger connection, but I doubt she knows that. So at 3:10 is when I asked, "Are you driving by chance?" At 3:13, he said, "I am," but I never responded. I just went to bed. So I guess it would have been like 3:15. I went to bedish.
So the timeline, and you know this already, that it's so critical to us.
Yeah, I remember when I first did the first.
Remember the initial timeline too was between 3 and 4 a.m.
Second interview, I didn't know the times, but now looking at photos and text, like I can see better timeline.
Do you know if it ever came?
I don't think so. I would guess he didn't because I never responded. But we talked to him all the time. Like we text him all the time. He knew where our house was. He knew like what Front Lannis was, what the Whites was. We really liked him. He was a driver. He could know something just because they do probably have cameras, and it probably would be a good guy to talk to just in case. But like we trusted him. He was a super nice guy. Always made sure we got home safe. I never had like any weird suspicion with him ever.
How old is he?
Oh, I don't know. I think mid-30s probably. I know that he's married.
So he's talked to you. You've had conversations.
Yeah, we've had a lot of conversations. Like obviously drunk with him.
So you went to bed after that communication?
Yes, after that communication. I don't fully remember, but I think I was on my phone watching Vampire Diaries for a little bit. I don't know how long. I don't know for sure if I was or wasn't. Again, I don't know if I locked.
Wait. I was on my phone watching Vampire Diaries? That might be the first time that I've caught that, because this whole time, Vampire Diaries, I'm thinking she's watching it on the couch with Jenna.
I don't fully remember, but I think I was on my phone watching Vampire Diaries for a little.
I was on my phone watching Vampire Diaries for a little bit.
I don't know how long. I don't know for sure if I was or wasn't. Again, I don't know if I locked my door. I have a habit of locking my door, but I don't know if I did. And I don't remember. I'm usually the one that locks the sliding door at night because Dan and Ethan would get up and forget to lock it. I don't know if I locked it that night. I don't know if anyone else. I don't believe I locked it. But it also wasn't like, oh, you have to lock it. Like Moscow always seemed like a super safe place. Like you walk home at night drunk by yourself or with one other girl. Like that's just the norm of Moscow. So I fell asleep. Usually when I am drunk, I fall asleep a lot better. And during the weekdays, I get a lot more scared about things. But when on the weekends, because I have been intoxicated and I am obviously drunk, I sleep a lot better, like a lot deeper sleep, I would say. So
you suffer from anxiety.
She's freaked out. She's got anxiety. She's scared almost all of the time, except for when there just so happens to be 4 murders occurring, is what I'm hearing. It's what I'm hearing. That's my opinion. It's not shit talking. She's saying it herself too. It's just wild.
Anxiety even before starting.
I just remember. So I remember waking up around 4 to 4:20. I have text between me and Kaylee at 4. Just text from me to her at 4:20. Let me make sure.
Plunder.
Well, I have to step back because I forgot to ask you. After the initial White Claws, what else did you consume? Because you had the 3 White Claws you told us.
So yes, 3 White Claws. Going to the house, I had some of Borg, obviously Rage Cage. I don't know what they put in it. I don't believe it was hard alcohol. I think it was just seltzers. I'm pretty sure it was just seltzers that store. I don't remember it being any hard alcohol. Obviously,
it's called Rage Cage.
Yes, it's like just drinking game. I had a little bit of, I don't know how much I would say, of Borg, which obviously has like vodka brunettes. I don't know how much. I don't know how much I drink, but obviously some of that. And then I would say I probably had like 2 or 3 more drinks, maybe a few more.
And what were they?
Also White Claws.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And where were they at home?
What do you mean?
Did you drink them at home?
This was at house.
Okay. Did you drink anything at home when you ate the popcorn?
No.
So the drinking had stopped.
Once we left the house, it stopped.
So at around 2 o'clock, basically, based off what you
I think so. I don't fully know. I'm like trying to think again. Because I know the last video I have is us with dancing at, let me look at that again. That was at 12:57. So I would say
True crime.
I don't know,
audio.
1:15, 1:30 left, just basing off these videos that I have. So we got that sober home, obviously. What we watched Vampire Diaries, had popcorn. Maddie.
No more alcohol.
No more alcohol. So then I guess I told you that rest of the part. So
you're in your bed. You said so. We interrupted you. So you awakened at somewhere between 4 and 4:20 a.m.
Oh yeah, I have texts that I texted Kaylee. So on my phone it says 5:22 because the time changed, but Moscow's an hour behind. So at 4:22 in Moscow.
Okay, hang on. I've never understood this part. I need to re-listen to that just for my own knowledge. I've never understood this time change comment, and I've heard people talk about how her phone would be in a different time zone. So she's
somewhere between 4 and 4:20 a.m.
Oh yeah, I have texts that I texted Kaylee. So on my phone it says 5:22 because the time changed, but Moscow's an hour behind. So at 4:22 in Moscow, I guess would that change also my Snapchat video times?
Yes.
So then all of this would be an hour behind. That kind of messed everything up. Sorry. Then I guess everything would be an hour behind.
But on your phone now, you're saying at 4:22 you texted Kaylee the first time.
But now since we're in Boise, it changed to 5:22. I don't really know why.
Because we're an hour ahead.
Yeah, an hour ahead, and I made sure because I sent a screenshot to my mom that had my time, and it showed my mom's time, and obviously switched over because of Boise time. Sorry, that really confused me.
What did you text her?
I said, Kaylee, what's going on? Please answer. So
audio.
Why did you ask that?
So I'll start from there. 4 a.m. around 4 to 4:20. I don't know if I was still drunk. Probably was. I don't know for sure. I was really asleep. I woke up out of nowhere. I heard her playing music.
How do you know it was her? I guess I should ask that.
I don't really know for sure why I knew it was her, but I think it's because I heard her voice and she's probably singing. I knew for sure it was her when she walked upstairs and she said someone's here. That's how I knew for sure that it was Kaylee. So pretty much she walked up the stairs, normal, wasn't weird or anything, and I was like, okay, and I can go back to bed.
So she shouted out to you, somebody's here?
Not to me. I don't know if she knew I was awake, but she walked up the stairs with Murphy. I think she got to almost about the top of the stairs just by how many stomps there was. And she said someone was here frantically, but it wasn't a yell because I know for a fact it wasn't yell or shout because they're not here. And from what I heard, it's between talking and yelling. Wasn't yelling, but it's in between there. I believe I was also very drunk. I don't know how much of this is real. I don't know if my mind was doing whatever. I don't know any of it. Half of the stuff, I don't know if it's a dream or if it's real. I just have no clue. But
you know what? I'm going to say this, and that buzzword with victim blaming, victim shaming, anybody who wants to say that, you know what I would encourage you to do is put yourself in a child's parents' shoes that was killed inside that house and try to listen to this. If I was a father and I had a daughter, if my son was in that house and I'm listening to this, I would be unable to stay calm. I don't think I would be able to do it listening to this runaround.
in that moment of what I think I heard, was her saying, someone's here. Again, I think it was more like between talking and yelling. I don't know for sure. From what I remember, I think she like ran down the stairs pretty fast and then it just stopped. That's when I texted her, I believe, is like, I was kind of like, what in the world, like, what is this? Like, doesn't make sense. And I didn't think anything was wrong because nothing ever bad happens in Moscow ever. So then.
Did Kaylee sound stressed?
Yes, kind of. I think, I don't know for sure.
What was Murphy doing? Was he barking?
Audio.
I think he was barking again. I don't remember fully. I think he was
Murphy
barking.
a barker? Does Murphy bark at strangers?
You don't get a lot of strangers, so I don't know.
What do you mean?
Think so.
What do you mean you don't get a lot of strangers?
What would make Murphy bark? What?
Meaning strangers to the dog, right? Strangers to the dog. You have a giant party house.
Normally, under normal circumstances, would make Murphy bark.
He just wasn't really much of a barker.
But you heard him barking, you think? Or
yeah, I think so. From what I think I heard.
Can I step back a second?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this because you've been consuming alcohol, but I have to ask you because you have gone.
So.
So you heard Murphy barking, but Murphy's barked before.
I mean, like, so when in the backyard there's dogs out there and he would bark at them. I don't think he ever really barked at people. Again, I don't remember fully. I'm just guessing off of what I think. But I do think I think I remember hearing barking when Kaylee said that. I just something about her running down the stairs really fast because of how fast she was stomping.
I couldn't hear that.
Yeah, from what I don't know if it's real or if in my mind it's just drunk and awake. I don't know really.
Well, that's important for us. So
yeah,
we can't tell you whether or not that was reality.
Yeah, I mean, I have no clue. I keep trying to remember, but I don't know what's real and what's not. Pretty much from that night, and it's kind of frustrating not knowing at all. I don't remember who I called first. I don't remember when I called them. I mean, I guess I could look on Sunday for my phone.
Was this at the time you heard Kaylee running?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me look from Sunday.
What's Kaylee saying?
She just said someone's here and then nothing else from what I remember.
But it sounded like you said you heard her say someone's here, then heard the friend.
Yes, that's what I think I remember.
So
she walked.
She was wearing shoes or not wearing shoes?
I think she was wearing, because all the girls wear those Doc Martens, whatever. I think it was those. I don't know. I have no clue, but I'm pretty sure it was shoes because of how loud it was. Again, I don't know for sure. From looking at my phone. Okay, so I called at 4:19 a.m., which I didn't know. I guess I called before I texted Kaylee. And I think that's when she said something about firecracker, which I thought she was saying that someone threw fireworks in her house because she heard I don't know what she heard. And
who did she say said that? Bethany?
Kaylee. And I think that's when she said something about firecracker, which.
Okay. Listen to this closely. I could have misheard it. Again, this is live, going through this, thinking out loud, but I'm going to go back and just.
Again, I don't know for sure. From looking at my phone. Okay, so I called at 4:19 a.m., which I didn't know. I guess I called before I texted Kaylee. And I think that's when she said something about firecracker, which I thought she was saying that someone threw fireworks in her house because she heard I don't know what she heard, and something about a light. I guess you talked to her. I don't fully know. I was out of it, obviously, probably still tipsy and just woke up. I thought she meant someone threw fireworks in her house, which didn't make any sense.
Still doesn't.
So after that, I called Xana at 4:20 a.m. And then next, I called Kaylee as well as at 4:20 a.m.
And what, did you leave a message or anything?
No. And then I called again at 4:20. I don't really know why.
Thank you, Brittany and Jackie, for the super chats. Brittany, says, I don't believe anything Dylan says. I don't hear genuine concern in her voice at any point. It's more like she's trying to convince us. And what would you all call that? What Brittany's describing? Like intuition, something you can hear it just in the voice. There's authenticness, there's authenticity, whatever the word is that you want to use for it. There's being genuine. And I think you hit the nail on the head. There's something where you just don't hear any concern for the fact that your friends were just killed in a house and you came eye to eye with the killer and you weren't killed. It's crazy.
Then I called Maddie at 4:21. Then Maddie at then Kaylee at 4:27.
So you never left your room?
So after I heard Kaylee say that, from what I can remember is I opened the door, and I do remember like looking up the stairs and then looking to the side, and I could kind of see the living room, but not fully. And I just remember like seeing nothing. So I slept the door and locked it because I was freaking out. Like I didn't know if there was a guy there. I don't know if he was there or not. Like, I don't know.
Crime audio.
I opened the door again. Again, I don't know if this was real or if my mind was just like playing with me. But
I'm sorry, I don't want to be the guy to keep pausing it, but as the interviewer, I would have to say, Dylan, I'm going to tell you something. This was real. This was real. There was people that were just murdered in your house. Yes. So this most likely was not a dream because, yes, you're sitting here talking to detectives and we are trying to make sure you're not involved. This was real.
What I think I heard was someone was crying in the bathroom. And I think it was Kaylee. But I don't know. I couldn't tell. And I just...
Which bathroom?
The one me and Xana share on the second floor.
So the second time you opened your door?
Yes. And again, I don't know for sure if this was in the bathroom, just like what I think happened from what I think I heard and all that. And then from after like the crying, I think I heard someone, like this guy's voice I had never heard in my life, just saying like, no, like it's okay, I'm gonna help you. But it wasn't in this nice way, like it was a weird, creepy way from what I think I remembered. And I'm pretty, again, I don't know anything for sure. I think I called out for Kaylee and Xana because it was the second floor, and I was just like, Kaylee, Xana. And so if someone was there, they would have heard me. And I don't know.
So when you heard his voice, where would he have been when you heard it?
I think the bathroom. I don't know for sure. It could have been. It just seemed too distant from the living room. So I just in my mind, I think in my mind just suggested, okay, bathroom. That's what I think I hear. Like I think it's bathroom.
And what was it again? He said, I'm sorry.
He said, no. He said, it's okay. I'm gonna help you. I think that's what I said. Again, everything's kind of fuzzy still. I don't fully remember.
Was it directed at you?
No. I think what he was saying that to was whoever was crying in the bathroom. And I from what I think I remember, it was a male voice.
And what did you think? What were you thinking at this time?
I don't even know what I was thinking. I was just like, what in the world is going on? Like, who is that? Like, are they talking to the girl crying? Like, I don't.
And you thought the girl might be Kaylee.
Yeah. That's what I think I thought.
But you're only thinking that because of the position of the bathroom in their bedrooms, but you don't know that it's Kaylee.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's Kaylee. I have no clue at all. That's just what I'm thinking at that moment is like, I just thought it was Kaylee, but now I'm like, at that moment, what I thought was it was Kaylee. Now, after hearing more stuff and thinking more, it could have been Xana. But from that moment, I thought it was Kaylee.
It's more important. That's what I was going to tell you. It's more important because I know you've talked to, sounds like from Dustin's interview.
Yeah.
Don't allow that information to influence what you knew at the time that we're asking you these things were happening.
That's such a great take by Detective Gooch, honestly. I'm glad she at least said that. Probably a lot of us in here feel like, thank you for saying that. Don't be influenced by what you may have heard from Dustin, meaning Blaker. And so.
Sounds like from Dustin's interview.
Yeah.
Don't allow that information to influence what you knew at the time that we're asking you these things were happening, because we're trying to figure out who did this, and we can't have those influences drive our, we're trying to.
Yeah. So like
drive
at
our
that
car.
moment,
You thought it was Kaylee.
I thought it was Kaylee. I totally thought it was Kaylee.
Had you ever heard that male voice before?
No, I've never heard that in my entire life. It was not Ethan's voice whatsoever. I know Ethan's voice, and it was not Ethan's voice at all.
And the tone of the voice, what did it sound like?
It was like almost like
Thunder,
a sorry but like
Crime
creepy
Audio.
tone. I don't really know how to explain a voice. I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but it wasn't like it's okay, I'm gonna help you. It was like, no, like it's okay, I'm gonna help you. Like it wasn't like this frantic like I'm gonna help you. It was just weird from what I remember.
Can we step back for a second?
Yeah.
I don't watch Vampire Diaries. It's not my genre. I'm not. I like scary movies. I will tell you, I watch Halloween every year.
Yeah.
God.
Original. What was on the Vampire Diaries going on before you went to bed?
So Vampire Diaries is just about this girl and these two guys that are vampires that like fight between her. It's not supposed to be scary. It's just like those kind of like rom-com, like fictional, like dystopian kind of movies. I don't remember what episode we were on. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember I just remember watching Vampires. I don't remember what episode it was, what we saw. Like,
Do the vampires rescue girls?
kind of. I guess you can have to I guess I would look it up to understand it more.
No, the only reason I'm asking is could that seed have been planted in your mind from a movie you had just been watching when you went to sleep?
I guess it could have. I mean, it is vampire. Like, I guess I don't know, but I mean, it's like vampires. One of the vampires is always dressed in like a black suit, black pants. So like that could have been. I don't know.
When you were jolted awake, or when you became aware, is that normal for you? Do you wake up under those circumstances, or do you wake up naturally?
Well, I have like a lot of times, like my mom will come in, I like gasp because I get freaked out a lot, like really easily. But the fact that I jumped up so fast and locked my door, like as fast as I did, not normal at all. I don't know, like something just came over me. It was like, get up, lock your door.
So something in your mind was processing. But
Yeah.
You don't know what it was.
I don't know what it was at all.
It could have been if I had to guess, if I was a bet man, I would say you probably were awoken out of your sleep. Something shocked you out of your sleep. Besides firecrackers going off, you got Bethany who's claiming that Ethan's bumping into the tables and falling over. Kaylee's running down the stairs. Yeah, maybe that's what woke you up. Maybe there's a giant commotion going on.
I have no idea.
When that first happened, was Murphy barking?
I think so. I don't know for sure. I think I heard barking, but again, I don't know for sure. It could have been my mind, just like, I don't know.
When you opened the door the first time to look up and down the hallway,
Mhm.
and up the stairs, was Murphy barking?
No. Well, I guess I shouldn't say no. I don't know for sure, but from what
Do you remember if Murphy was barking?
I don't think so. I think he was only barking when Kitty said something, and then I think he left the house. Like I like, you know, when sounds get more distant and you can hear them getting more.
That's such a good point, Wolf Loverish, because was it Hunter and Emily also said they just had this weird feeling to get up and lock the door, just like Dylan did. Wow.
Distance. That's what I thought I heard, and I think he went out of the house, like out the back door, which means that back door.
Plunder.
I think it would have been open.
Crime Audio.
Is he a very skittish dog?
I mean, he's a puppy. I don't know if I would say skittish. I mean,
Is he easy to scare?
I don't think so. I don't really know for sure. I mean, I met him in August, so I wouldn't like know a ton. I guess you could say. I mean, he's still like a
So
puppy
I
in
have
a way.
to go back because we recorded this.
Yeah.
When you say he left the house, you're talking about the dog.
The dog,
not the subject that was in the
From
house.
what I thought and from how I could hear him barking, I thought he had left the house.
And was that the second time or first time? Because the
First
second
time.
time when you opened your door,
The first time was my thought. I guess when I opened the door, I think like I just looked around. I didn't hear any barking. Then I closed the door, and I think that's when I could tell Murphy was barking like out, like leaving. I guess I don't really understand it. My mind's like things are just almost like misplaced. I guess like
because you've been through a lot.
yeah,
a lot
it
of
just
trauma.
doesn't make sense. Like none of it makes sense at all. Like I feel like there's pieces missing that I don't understand why.
Could be the alcohol as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So after the crying and the guy's voice, I shut the door again. I locked it. I kept opening and locking it.
Did you continue to call?
I don't know. So like I can see I called Kaylee at 4:27 a.m. and then I called Xana at 4:28. So I don't know when those calls are between opening and locking the door from those 3 times, because I think I opened the door 3 times and then shut it 3 times. So I don't know when those calls are between. I thought maybe I called back the first or second time, but again, I don't know. It could have been before I even opened the door. I just don't know.
Were you processing any danger?
No, it was just like, I mean, obviously I was scared because I was like, why is there someone in the house? But like when I thought about it, I was just like, I mean, we have parties here a lot. People come in and out all the time. It's normal for people to come in like with other people. Like that's not weird. But I mean, I just didn't understand like what was going on. Like it didn't make sense to me at all. Like I never would have thought, oh, like intruder, murderer. Like that never crossed my mind once. That's what I don't understand.
So I want to tell you, from the first time I heard the story, the perspective I had, not your story, but hearing it from the detective sergeant, I thought, this is why it's important, that the offender was talking to you.
No.
That you're going to be okay.
No.
It was directed at the person crying in the bathroom.
Sorry if I got mixed up, but like.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
This is why it's important. Who do you think that person was talking to?
I think it was Kaylee, and I think the guy was talking to Kaylee in what I think was the bathroom.
That's important. But do you see my perspective?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Then
Yeah.
that means he knows you and he wants to protect you. And that would be important for his investigation.
That makes more sense. So obviously I locked the door that second time. I don't know.
Are we just gonna brush right over that? Because she just agreed with that. Yeah, that makes sense. He probably does know me and wanted to protect me. Yeah, that makes sense. What? She just literally agreed. Dylan just literally agreed to that. Yeah, that does make sense. Probably does. Yeah.
I think it was Kaylee, and I think the guy was talking to Kaylee in what I think was the bathroom.
That's important. But do you see my perspective?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Then that means he knows you and he wants to protect you. And that would be important for his investigation.
That makes more sense. So obviously I locked the door that second time. I don't know who I called before, after, whatever.
It's on your phone though?
Yeah, it's on my phone. And
so did you ever call anyone outside the house?
No, it didn't even cross my mind. I was just calling my roommates, it's like my closest friends who I trust. I called Ethan at one point. I mean, let me go on Snapchat. I don't know if it's still there or not.
If it is, can you take a...
I knew that she had said that. I didn't know that the detective led into that though. Either way, that's insane.
Screenshot of it so we don't lose it.
And
nobody's answering the phone. What about?
She answered the phone.
And what'd you say?
I don't remember what I called her. I don't know at all. And I have the text, but I just remember her saying something about fireworks. Firecracker. Fireworks. That's all I remember. I don't remember what I said to her. It just says Sunday Ethan couldn't talk. I mean, do you want me to screenshot it still?
Yeah. Timeline.
There's no time. There's no time on it. I don't really know why.
I'm sorry to keep going back.
I don't know at all. And I have the text, but I just remember her saying something about fireworks. Firecracker. Fireworks. That's all I remember. I don't remember what I said to her. It just says Sunday Ethan couldn't talk. I mean, do you want me to screenshot it still?
Yeah. Timeline.
There's no time. There's no time on it. I don't really know why.
Was that through Snapchat?
Yeah, that was through Snapchat because I have his number. But the reason I called Ethan is because like Ethan's the one that we trusted. It was like if Ethan said that we're safe, because me and are always freaked out at that house. Like someone's gonna. I don't know. Me and are always kind of freaked out by that stuff, and we would hear Ethan and be like, "Okay, Ethan's here. Like we're safe. It doesn't matter. He's 6'3", big guy. Like we're safe." That's why I called him. But he obviously didn't answer, and I thought maybe he was still at school or he was at home. I don't know.
When, do you think that was somewhere between 4:20 and 4:27?
I have no clue. Okay. I don't have any memory, really. So obviously after I heard, what I think I heard was crying in the bathroom and that guy talking to Kaylee, I opened the door again, and
Is that the third time?
Yes, this is the third time. And I don't know how I knew it was someone, because from my mind, it's like I was once wearing these like blurry glasses. Like it's so fuzzy and cloudy, but it was like a figure of someone wearing all black, and it was like they had the ski mask that was covering their forehead and their chin and mouth. but I could see that all I remember was seeing their eyebrows.
True crime.
And I don't
audio.
remember what their eyes were, but I remember their eyebrows. I don't remember the color of the eyebrows were. I just remember like bushy eyebrows. That's all I could think about. And he was holding this item. I kept calling it a mini vacuum, which makes absolutely no sense. Why would he hold a mini vacuum? Like that makes, I just remember thinking that.
And then you think he was a male?
Yes, because of the voice I heard. I don't think it was female at all. And from what I remember, he was like, from looking at him, was like the figure of what I saw was about my height, maybe a few inches taller. That's how I knew. And when I got interviewed the second time, they're like, what was his shape? And I remember saying, like, from that moment of seeing him, I think he was like he wasn't like muscular, but he wasn't like super skinny. So it was like it was like skinny toned, like that basketball kind of type, like the skinny but toned.
How tall?
I think around my height, maybe a few inches taller.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10", so I
Go watch Brian Koberger walking into Costco and tell me out of 100 people, if you surveyed them, how many people are going to say Koberger's skinny toned basketball type? Zero. There's no way. I've made the joke about Koberger saying, yes, it is Frankenstein's awkward nephew shuffling around. For God's sakes, him shuffling up those stairs, he would have alerted that entire neighborhood that he was trying to sneak around. They probably would have gotten up and stopped the murder at that point.
I think it could have been around 5'10" to 6 foot, somewhere around there.
Where is he at in the house when you first encounter him?
So my room, so it's like, say it's here. There's this little wall right here that's like this. So this side, kitchen, other side, living room. I think he was walking past my door and like saw me. I mean, he had to, if I did see this, if it's all is real and it's not like imagination dream, like if it is real, let's just like say that it is for somehow. He had to have heard me call for Kaylee and Xana when I heard Kaylee crying in the bathroom, from what I think I heard.
How many feet away is he from you?
3 feet from what I remembered. Again, that could be off because I was obviously probably still a little bit drunk. I just woke up. I don't remember fully.
3 feet.
But I remember like what I think I remember was like this item, and it was like what I explained was like it looked like this like cylinder little thing that was skinny like this, like about this long, and then it triangle almost at the end. And I remember one of the cops saying like a bow or something. I can't remember something about that. And it was like the bow and arrow kind of stuff.
Where was it at when he was holding it? Where was?
I don't know. It was. I think it was lower, higher, but like.
But it's in his hand.
Yeah, but when I remembered it, it was like when I saw him, I thought firefighter, like because what said firecracker, so I was like, okay, firefighter, like maybe he's like take out the fire. But when I thought about this, fire didn't even like occur to me like it's a bad thing. Like I never thought, oh, fire, we have to get out. That didn't occur to me at all. I just thought firefighter, like he's gonna help us, and it wasn't like oh, there's an intruder, like this. Like it didn't ever occur to me. I don't know why. And I know he looked like it's his eyebrows. I think I just saw one, why or how, but I just remember like what I think I saw was he was walking out and he saw me, but just kept like he stopped. He didn't like say anything to me, and I just remember saying no, and I slammed the door and locked it, and that was like all I remember. And I don't know if he actually went out the back door. That's what I think happened.
So is that the sliding door?
That's that sliding door. I don't know for sure. That's just what I think I saw in my mind. I'll hold up. Text.
What did you do? So maybe there's something on your phone that you did immediately afterwards in relation to what you saw.
I'm looking at text between me and real quick.
Did he say anything to you?
From what I remember, nothing at all.
Do you know how far you opened the door?
I don't even remember the third time. I don't know if you could see my whole body. I don't know if you remember at all. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the text between me and I think it will help. Okay, so at 4:22, I said no one's answering. I'm really confused. She goes, yeah, dude, what the fuck? Xana was wearing all black. I don't remember how all black came up, and I think I might have called her and said there's someone wearing, I don't know. Then at 5, freaking out. It was like a ski mask almost.
5:23.
4:23. Sorry, the time change. And she was like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like actually, and I said, like he had something over his head and mouth. I'm not kidding. I'm so freaked out, and you can tell I'm obviously freaked out and drunk because like the spelling is off. Like I said something with a B and an S.
So Chevy Metal, good to see you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. It says, in my opinion, firecrackers equal taser firing and the thud equal victim falling down. The flashing light is a tactical strobe on flashlight to blind victim, maybe cause seizure to Quinn, Rosie and Tisdale, sus 1 and 2. There is something to be said about when you don't get an answer and you get this word salad and you get all the ums and the I don't knows and you get all of the I was drunk. I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is fake. You guys get my point. It leads to things that, like Chevy Metal just said, that's logically piecing together word salad. But ultimately, is anything that's being said credible? And I think that's what's so hard for me personally to get my head around is the firecracker's been consistent. The bang or the thud has been consistent. The flash of light has been consistent, but nothing else that really would matter. And it was a mini vacuum. So I agree. I think that's a good thought, Chevy Metal, for sure. It's just it's wild how many different directions that can take you.
And when I said and, I just put ND and I spelled wrong. I spelled I wrong. And then I said, my phone is going to die, fuck. And then she said, come to my room, run down here. That was at 4:23. I said, I'm scared with no A capital R. I'm going to guess you guys have these text message. And she said,
safe to leave your room?
I don't know, but I did. I don't know why I did. Like, it just didn't occur to me that anything was wrong. But you guys have these text message. And she said,
safe to leave your room?
I don't know, but I did. I don't know why I did. Like, it just didn't occur to me that anything was wrong. But obviously, yeah, I was
Bethany's downstairs.
Downstairs, so 1 floor down. She goes, at 25, she goes, yeah, I know, but it's better than being alone. So I opened the door for a second, and I just sprinted. And I don't know why. I feel like it was stupid of me to open the door. Like, I don't know why I did that, but I didn't see anyone. Scared, but it wasn't like anything was wrong. I was just like freaked out that someone was in the house, but it wasn't like, oh, this is bad. Like, you know, like I just didn't think about that. And I literally told her, I don't know if this is real or not. Like, I don't know if my mind's playing with me. I don't know if this is like a dream of some sort. So from what I remember is this is now the fourth time opening the door. I go outside, I sprint I think I sprinted again, been just like running, and I think I'm sprinting. I don't know. She's in a room, and she's like on the floor, and I'm like, okay, she's just like drunk and passed out like that. Maybe she just drank way too much tonight. She'll be fine in the morning. Like, she's with Ethan, from what I thought. I didn't see Ethan. I just had the door open. From what I remember, I think this is what happened. I remember her just on the floor, and I don't think she had any pants on except for underwear. And I was like, oh, like that was normal for her to like just wear underwear around the house because we were all so comfortable with each other. Like, that was not weird at all. So I thought nothing of it. And I was almost too scared to go look at her because I was like, I don't know if there's a guy here or not. I don't know if someone's here or not. Like, I have no clue. I don't know if like my mind's freaking out or not. All I knew was that I was awake. She had been calling me. I needed to go down to her because we could be together.
But you saw Xana on your way by.
Yeah. So when you from my room to get to the room, you have to go past the living room. To pass the living room, you look like, so here's my room. I'm coming out this way. I walk down into the living room. I look to my left. That is where Xana's room is. Like, down this little hallway.
With lights on or anything?
There were lights on. I think so. I'm for sure. I was able to see her.
In her room, the lights are on?
Yeah, and I don't know if the bathroom lights are on. I can't remember. I think they were, but again, I don't know. Like, everything's kind of wish-washy. I can't remember.
Is Xana saying anything?
No, I thought she was just passed out on the floor. Like, I thought she was just sick.
Over 50 effing stab wounds. You're sprinting downstairs. Kaylee had said there's somebody in the house and ran downstairs. Your other roommate saying there was a firecracker. You thought there was a fire or a fireman, And cool, they're going to save you. Yet you're still sprinting out of the room, which is stupid. You sprint, you see Xana, who, again, 50 stab wounds. People need to wake up. And this is what I said. Are people ready to be an adult about this case? Put yourself in a different parent's shoes and listen to this shit. This is crazy. I don't care. It's insane. This is insane. And anybody that doesn't think that this is insane, well, I don't know. I actually don't even have words for that. If you don't think this is insane, I don't even know what to tell you.
Happens like you get too drunk, you just like the floor feels fine. Like sometimes when we're all kind of drunk, we're just like, okay, I just want to fall asleep on the floor. Like it just feels fine, you know.
At no point after you encountered the man, did you think that there's something about Xana that isn't normal? You never thought.
Yeah, I never thought anything was wrong. I thought she had just like fallen asleep. I never thought she drank, like she was unconscious. I didn't even think that at all. I didn't think anything was wrong at all. So then I stopped for a second, look at her, like, okay, she's fine. Like she's asleep. Like
is her bedroom light on?
I think so. Again, I don't know.
How far is Xana from you when you first see her? What's the
I
distance?
guess if like I'm right here, it's like behind that window from where I am. Like it's pretty long hallway, I would say.
Is her bedroom at the end of the hallway?
Yes, the very end of the hallway, and like I couldn't see much. I guess like I could just see her. I could see the top of her head because obviously her head is a lot higher than everything else, and I could see her legs a bit, and that was it. I didn't see anything else. I didn't see anything wrong. Like it just everyone like yeah, she was drunk, probably messed it up a little bit. It didn't look from what I think I saw. It didn't look super messy at all. Like it just looked like just a few clothes. You know, that's normal for all college girls. Like it's normal.
So this distance you're talking about, would you have been able to see her if the lights were out?
Probably not.
So some.
I think so. That's what I'm thinking.
You guys have night lights in your
No,
house?
I don't. I
So
mean,
nothing
I
running on the
don't.
wall?
I mean, we have this. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because we have like little twinkle lights that go around. Like
decorative.
Yeah. So I guess that could have been it. Maybe there was just decorative lights and that's why I was. We have this little Scentsy thing. I don't know if it's on. We're pretty good at turning it on and off, so it's not like going on through all night, but it does have a light. I don't know if that was on.
Where's the Scentsy light on normally? Where's it located? I'm sorry.
So from my room, you first walk into the living room. There's like, so there's like, let's say this is the door to the living room. Right to your left is this bar cart with like some alcohol and like some decorative stuff. Right to your right, there's this little table that has drawer. The little Scentsy thing is. And couch.
Would you have been able to see Xana with that light from the living room?
I don't think so.
This is important because in our world, for an offender to leave lights on a house, you increase the risk of identification. They would rather the lights not be on. So it's important that we get this straight.
I mean, I think Xana's lights were on.
There's no way you could have seen her otherwise, so correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to plant a seed.
Yeah, I know.
But think like about where you're at when you see her. If all the lights are off, you wouldn't have been able to see her normally?
Well, I mean, we have so many twinkle lights, so I might be able to. I have no clue. I just can't remember.
No, that's again. I'm not suggesting you should tell me something you do not.
Yeah, I don't know if her lights were on or not. I have no clue at all.
But you could see her.
I could see her. I know that I could see her.
And which way is she facing? Which way is her head facing?
So like, let's say like that couch is the back of her wall. That's where her head is, and her legs are towards like forward.
And then what is she wearing?
Audio.
I don't know what her shirt is. I can just see her wearing underwear, and that was normal. She was really comfortable with us. She wore just underwear around the house, and that was fine.
Did you call out her name?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think I did. I thought she was maybe just asleep, so I don't want to wake her up. And then I like ran down the back. She could hear me walking down, so she opened up the door, so I didn't have to wait. It and locked the door, and I was like, I
see that small detail. I'm not sure where your guys' heads go. When I hear that it's almost like Bethany's waiting for Dylan to run down there and is waiting at her door, ready for her to come in and like quick open it and shut it. Like that gives away so much knowledge of something just happened, something is happening, something more may happen. And one more Red Nightmare. Thank you so much for the big super chat. Instead of focusing on the fact that she's lying, which is obvious to everyone, why are LE playing along with it? They know her story is BS. The more time we focus on picking her story apart, the better. Misdirection, guys. You know what? Thank you for that. Every now and again, it's nice to get a great reminder of exactly that. We have to use some discernment and have, you know how I said in the beginning of the stream, let's be adults about this. We need to be able to, keep our emotions in check and think through it. Where's the misdirection happening? It seems like it's all over because she doesn't know anything. But just like what a lot of comments have said and what I was just kind of saying there is truth sprinkled into this. So I think that was a really good reminder. And thank you again for that super chat. I appreciate it.
Don't remember what we talked about at all. I don't know if she does. I have no clue what we talked about. I just remember us being scared a little bit, but like we didn't think anything was wrong at all. We thought, okay, maybe someone's just passing through. Like maybe we just like the house would make a lot of noises too, because I think it is an older house. And it's like I'd be at night hearing just like, like the cracking noises when houses make when they're older.
Settling.
Yeah, that would happen quite often. And so we were kind of used to that. And we just didn't know. And she just said something about a light in her room, like a firecracker or a firework. I don't fully remember. And it just was kind of weird. I was like, what? I don't remember if I talked to her about the guy. I don't remember if I talked to her about what I saw or what I heard. I have no clue. I just remember like we fell asleep pretty fast in our bed and we didn't think anything was wrong at all.
I wouldn't have to ask you. You were running at first, and at what point did you stop running? And she heard you walk to her room. You said at first you were running, and you must have felt comfortable at some point.
Well, I guess I was running. So when I got out, I stopped and looked at Zena for a second. This is what I think happened. Then I ran down the stairs. I kept running. I don't think I was walking at all. I think I kept running until I got to her door.
So it's important that it's not what you think, it's what you know.
I don't know any of this. Okay. I don't know at all. This is all from what I think happened, because I don't know what is real and I'm just like, my mind's making up. So I don't know at all.
So of the things we've been writing, are most of it what you believe and you remember happened, or you're thinking what happened?
This is all what I remember, but I don't know if anything of it is real. I don't know. I can't differentiate if anything is real or if anything is a dream. Or if it's just like imagination. I have no clue, and I've been trying to figure it out like the past 2 days. Like what is real? I don't know at all. That's what it's just like. It's frustrating because I'm just like, I want to know, and I keep thinking about it, but I can't tell the difference anymore. Like I don't know it's just all like mixing together, and there's pieces that just don't make sense. Everything of it just doesn't make sense. So none of this I can say I know for sure. None of it I can say I know for a fact that happened, because I don't.
But you know some things that are factual because you have a timestamp on your phone.
Yes, the stuff on my phone, that is factual.
And
everything else, no.
But you remember watching the movies.
I remember before everything, like from when me, Kaylee, Maddie, and in Kaylee's room, all of that beforehand, I remember that because I remember exactly that, like. All of that I remember. Again, like I don't remember what episode of the Vampire Diaries we were watching, but I know it was Vampire Diaries because I remember putting it on.
You don't remember got home. You don't remember.
I don't remember. I think I went to bed before. I think I went to my room before she left. That I have no clue about. I don't know when she left. I don't know where she went. I don't know. I think someone told me that she walked home. I don't know. I don't know to her room. I don't know if she's on the couch. I have no clue at all. That's what I don't know about because I think I was in my room before that.
Do you think that you opening the door three times is part of what you're trying to piece together, or it actually happened?
I think it's what I'm trying to piece together. I don't know for sure if it fully happened. Like it's just like I don't know if my mind's like making up stuff like at that moment when everything was happening. I don't know if my mind.
Yeah, wait. Is this interview on repeat? Is this happening again? I had that same thought. Is it actually, did they play part of it in the beginning?
I was trying to make stuff up so that I can remember it. Like, I just don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know how to fully explain it, I guess.
What's important for the detective sergeant and myself is that you're not telling us something that's not true.
Yeah, I know.
That's the most important thing here. The fact you can't remember, I understand that you're traumatized, but that you're not intentionally telling us
I know.
Okay.
This is all stuff that This is what I remember that night. Again, it's something I don't know if it was real or what happened. This is what I remembered. Some of it could be real, some of it could be not. I don't know. This is what I think I remembered.
So
Yeah, but it's slightly different there because I think the first time, unless Gooch goes on to say it now, the first time she said it's important that you don't have your interview with Dustin influence it. And this time it says it's important you tell us what's true.
watching you, and I've done hundreds of interviews and so as the detective surgeon, I believe you're recalling some things from memory. The dog barking isn't something you can make up. It's not something you feel. Either the dog was barking or the dog was not.
Yeah.
So the things we hear is different than the things we think we saw.
Yeah.
What we hear is something awakened you, some noise, and then you heard crying.
Yeah.
You're not filling something in. Something brought you out of sleep.
Yeah.
And it's probably what you're suggesting is that you heard somebody crying. You don't know if it was Kaylee. We're not sure because you don't know that, right?
Yeah.
You know somebody was crying. Was it a woman?
Yeah, it was a woman. I know that.
And were they saying anything?
No, they were just crying.
Was it unusual for your roommates to cry?
I mean, I feel like all of us, like, I wouldn't cry in front of my friends. I'd cry in my room. I wouldn't really cry in front of my roommates. Like, we were comfortable enough, but if there's, like, my own situation going on, I wouldn't. I guess, I don't know.
What did the crying sound like?
Just like.
Do you ever cry when you're frustrated?
Yeah.
Do you ever cry when you're hurt?
Yes.
Do you ever cry when you're scared?
Yeah, and I don't know which one it was. I don't know at all.
You just heard crying.
I just heard crying. I can't process what kind of crying it was.
So I have learned through interviews, and the detective sergeant knows what here is not necessarily distorted, but what we see can be from trauma, right? But what we hear is distinct, right?
Yeah.
What I smell, that's unique. So what you heard is important is what you see.
Yeah.
We always ask this. Did you smell anything unusual?
No, didn't smell anything.
Cologne, anything like that?
Nothing.
Perfume?
Nothing.
What you thought you saw when you saw the figure in the hallway?
Yeah.
3 feet, a male.
Yes.
And you thought he was holding something, but at the time, your view of it was it could have been a vacuum cleaner.
A mini vacuum. Yeah.
And what was around his weight?
I don't know. I don't think I looked at that. I just remember all black clothes.
Oh, I thought you said you saw a triangle. What was in the
No, that was from what he was holding.
Okay. So can you describe that again for me?
It was like cylinder like this. I guess like about that long, and then it went out in like a triangle.
Audio.
And how was it? How was the person holding it?
I don't know. I have no clue. I can't remember that. I just remember seeing it. I don't remember if he had one hand on it too. I don't remember how he was holding it exactly.
Were there lights on in the hallway?
I don't know. I can't remember at all.
Okay, let's go back. Would there normally be lights on in the hallway? Do you leave the lights on for your roommates if they decide to stay out late out of consideration since they are your roommates? Do you leave any hallway lights on or anything?
I mean, for me, I like to leave a hallway light out there because it just makes me feel better. But I don't know if I did. I don't know if anyone else did. That's something I don't know.
To the head of the other people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would it be unusual for you guys to leave your lights on?
No, that would not be unusual at all. I mean, Xana and Ethan like to turn them off, but like sometimes I would leave them on. We would go down and get food, and in the middle of the night leave the lights on. Like that was normal.
When I didn't ask this before.
All right, Hive. Let me check in quick. I got a couple super chats. So Terry Taylor, thank you so much for the big super chat. Terry Taylor says, is it possible DM is just very focused on herself, not fully bloomed, mature, critical thinker? She just wants to spit out all her facts, no connections or theories at the speeds of light, needs trusted, relaxed questioner. I think that, the thing with Detective Gooch, like I've said, I've never obviously interrogated people or interviewed them for this type of thing. So I'm not sure if this is looped. To me, the questions sound different. It seems like they're backtracking now and they're going back over it. But absolutely, I think you're right. She's just spitting out whatever comes to her head at the speed of light, and a relaxed questioner is probably better. I think that's where like the whole thought process of good cop, bad cop probably originated from, And Mama Dada, good to see you. Says, did DM say Bethany said come to my room or go to my roommate. Difference is that BF might not be home. Well, see, and this is the thing with these interviews too. And thank you both for the super chat. This is the thing is that it's hard to listen to all of this on top of what we are going over on the camera footage of all of Linda Lane, the car park, the dumpster cam, the 1112, the documents, the interviews. This is supposed to be a stabbing by Brian Koberger in the most obvious Loctite narrative of all time. And at no point is anything obvious. It goes back to that Adam Sandler movie where he just word vomits. And the guy who's hosting that contest is like, I award you no points, and we are all dumber for now having to listen to that. May God have mercy on your soul. That's literally what this feels like.
When was the last time you saw Xana?
And also, okay, we got about 50 minutes left of this. I've been already going for 2 hours. What do we want to do here? If we got 800 something likes. If we get to 1,000 likes, I'm going to go fill up my water. Let's get to 1,000 likes. I'll just do the rest of it. We got 1,500 people in here. I don't want to cut everybody off just, 45 minutes early. So I'll stay. I'll do an extra 45 minutes. Let me fill up my water. I'm not going to even do a song or anything. Let's just. What are you guys thinking? Type a 1 if you want to keep going. Because I also don't want to bore anybody to death with listening to the ums and the I don't know. University of I don't know. Can we put that on a t-shirt? All right. A lot of ones. All right. So I'm going to fill this water up. Don't go anywhere. 30 seconds. I'm just going to let my camera run. Hit that like button. Let's get to 1,000 likes. I'll do the rest. All righty. Let's continue. This feels like we're holding on to an electric fence, and all we got to do to stop shocking ourselves is just let go. But if we want to figure shit out, I think, this is what we got to do. We got to listen to it all.
At 4. So that was when Ethan was trying to call his sister, wasn't answering. Xana was with, I guess I have that was not the same video. Xana was with him. And I just said, I don't know if I told him where I was going. I don't know if I told him when I was leaving. I just knew I was told at least yesterday if they wanted to go.
Now, I think you left there at 2 a.m.
No, that was before then.
What time? Can you give me a time frame?
I'm trying to figure that out.
And she was with Ethan.
Yes. So I know for sure from this video I was at at 12:49. The last video I have is of Xana holding a white claw at 11:04. So in between that time,
True crime
I'm
audio.
gonna guess more towards the 12 side is when I went to.
So you have a video or a picture of Xana at 11:04
Yes.
p.m.
Yes,
with
I
a
do.
white claw,
Yes,
and then you're at 12:49.
for sure. Yes, I have a video of that. I could have been there before then. I don't know. This is what proof I do have.
And that's what you've been using to piece some of this together.
Yes. I mean, I didn't fully look at my phone and stuff until my mom was like kind of asking me about that, and that's how I've been like trying to understand time zones. Timelines, I guess.
Can I ask? It's not a judgment question.
Yeah.
Did Xana and Ethan ever stay at Ethan's house?
No, I don't really know why. I think Ethan. I don't know why Ethan always just liked to be at our house. Xana.
Does he have roommates? Does he have roommates?
I don't know. All I know was that because of his grades, he wasn't allowed to live at. So he had to get an apartment. I've never been to his apartment. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if Xana's ever been there. We just never like asked about. We didn't care. We liked having him there, so it was never like a question to us.
Yeah, it's not a judgment.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, did Xana ever go to Ethan's house?
I don't think so. I think not every single night she was at our house.
So this is an odd question. You just brought up something. He couldn't stay with his fraternity because of his grades, but we're not even through the semester yet.
So last semester, that's how they depend everything. So let's say you get like below what you're supposed to get semester ago. That means that's like at the end of last year. Yes, that means for this semester, those are the rules you have to follow. Then if this semester you get better grades, then the next semester you'll be fine.
So he had to come into this semester in an apartment.
Yes.
It's not like he was there and they kicked him out.
No.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plunder.
You okay?
True crime audio.
So don't beat yourself up, because maybe we can come back and talk some more. I know that Detective Sergeant Blaker has questions. I have some more questions, but don't let that wait. I can see the weight of like, I wish I could give them more.
Yeah.
What you're giving is important.
Yeah.
So when you went to bed, who was still in the house? When you went to bed at 3 o'clock, 3:10, but at 3:11, who was still in the house?
I have never heard anything about a key found on the wall outside. No, I have not. Please share more. That's interesting.
What I know of Kaylee and Maddie coming home, those two.
Just Kaylee and Maddie? And
but I know Xana was home from what I saw. I don't know if Ethan was with her. I did not see Ethan. He could have been home with her. He could have not been. I don't know.
But when you went to bed, you said still in the house.
No. That was Are you talking about the first time I went to bed? Like early before all this happened?
Oh, I see. Yes, because they came home from the grub hut.
After left. Yeah.
And you don't, how about with you?
Yes, I know this home because I went after everything of all this, I went to bed with her in her bed.
At what time?
I don't know. I have no clue. Somewhere after, I would say 4:30-ish. I don't know how long all this happened. I tried to remember and I tried to give a time frame, but in reality, I don't know at all.
So at some point, we always ask this, at some point you weren't perceiving a threat?
I never perceived a threat ever.
Even with the guy in the hallway?
I mean, yeah, it freaked me out, but it wasn't like...
Oh, I've seen that key in the evidence photos. Yes.
In Moscow, like in a tiny town, you never have to worry about that. It's never like, oh, this is bad. Like, it just isn't. I never thought about, like, robbery never crossed my mind. Something happened to my friends never ever crossed my mind. Oh, like, it just was like people come in and out of our house. Like, that's how it is in Moscow when you live out of house. Like, people come in and out all the time. Like, because you know them. You know everyone in Moscow. It's so tiny. Like, it's not weird.
So did you know this person maybe?
I don't remember. I don't remember what his face looked like. All I remember is the...
Oh, my God.
I don't, like, just, like, thinking of, like, the covering of the forehead and the mouth. That's all I remember. And
do you know this person? I don't know. Well, everybody else that when you were getting asked, they were like, no, super nice, super cool, not worried about him. She was super nice. Nope, not worried about her. Do you know this person? Because maybe they were protecting you. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you know this person? I don't know.
And the eyebrows.
And what was covering it?
I don't know. At the time, the way from what I texted was a weird looking ski mask. It wasn't like the regular ski mask with like eyes and, you know, because I saw his eyebrows. And I think I saw his nose and like this part of his face, but I don't know.
Do you know what a balaclava is?
No.
If I showed you a picture of, I don't have the phone view, a balaclava, could you tell me if it looked like that?
Maybe, I think.
So it's something that we use. We use it in cold weather gear, and sometimes we use it on raids when we go in, when we don't, like if we're working narcotics, we don't want offenders to know who we are so they can't come after us and our families. So we wear these things called balaclavas, which are issued. Anyone can buy them. It's not unique to law enforcement. It's not unique to any other population, but we buy them so we can conceal our identity when we go into raids so suspects can't figure out who we are.
Yeah.
To keep ourselves and our families safe. If we showed you a picture of a balaclava, could you say if this is what it looked more like?
I think so.
That's interesting that she
He
said.
never
this is
said
what we
anything
use.
directed at you. The person that you saw in the hallway.
Never.
Was there movement going on? Thank you.
Plunder. True
That could have
crime
been.
audio.
I think that could have been it.
Okay, possibly.
Yeah.
Was this, you couldn't see his mouth?
And I don't remember if I saw, like, I don't remember if I saw his nose, but I know I saw eyebrows. And I don't remember his eyes look like. I just remember seeing the eyebrows, but I mean, that could be it. I mean, that would make sense why the forehead was covered and this part of his face was covered.
And so I don't know this. Detective Blaker knows a lot more than I do, and I probably knows some things too, but have there been any issues leading up to Sunday with anyone that you can think of that your roommates?
So obviously the cops will tell us anything weird. About a month ago, Kaylee was taking Murphy out and she just saw like this figure like watching her, and it freaked us out for like a day or two, then we forgot about it, you know, like it wasn't a big deal. Like people live up like, I guess you maybe have seen my house. When you go out in the backyard, there's like that hill of all those brushes and there's like houses up there. It could have just been like someone walking outside their house. I don't know. But like obviously it freaks us out for a second because we're an all house girl. That's why we loved having Ethan, because it's like we always were like, no one's gonna come to our house if Ethan's here. Like we would always talk about that. Like we feel so safe with Ethan's here because it's like 6'3" guy. He's pretty big. Like it's, you know, like you wouldn't really come to a house when there's a 6'3" guy here. And then another time I also told the cops this. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. Kaylee had told us she went to Winco. I don't know what she was buying. Dana was in the car. Dana waited in the car for her.
So just to go off that, given the fact that she's saying like nobody would mess with us when Ethan was here, that doesn't seem like a guy then who she's describing as like this alpha male, big guy, built, not going to take shit, right? That doesn't seem like a guy that would stay quiet during all of this, or a guy that wouldn't go out and check on these other girls if they felt so safe when he's there, right? That, I don't know. That's where my brain goes.
Kaylee is very good at being aware of her surroundings. She's always been like that. And she noticed this guy was like following her. And I think what she said was, no, like this guy didn't have any stuff. It was, she just kept following her, like wasn't checking anything out. This guy kept following her. And she knew to the register, this guy was like still following her. So she rushed out of Winco into her car and got in the car, threw the stuff on Xana, locked the doors. She could see out of her side mirror camera that the guy was right behind her in the car. And I think like it kind of freaked us out for a second. She was like, just be careful when you go to the stores. And like
how many weeks?
Probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. When we've been hearing like stuff on TikTok of like stuff happening at Target and Walmart, just people like, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about sex traffickers at stores, and it's like
audio.
Like we worried about it. We were just like, okay, like we'll just always go together. But it was a big deal, I guess, because I don't know. You just don't want to think about that. Whenever anything happens, you never think it's gonna be you. Pretty much, like you just don't think about that. And then
let's step back a second, though. The guy at the store, is he in his car when he's close to their car, or he's actually physically?
Yes.
Does he say anything to her? Did she say?
I don't think so. I don't remember. I don't remember her saying anything about that.
And that was at Winco, not Walmart.
Winco, and she never like. I mean, she was a little freaked out about it, but she wasn't like like, let's call the cops right now, like all this, you know, like it wasn't like a big deal, really. And there was another time, like obviously our front door, it's fixed. I don't know how well it's fixed, but broken for a little bit where like you would have to shove it, close it. And like I talked to some girls last year and they'd be like, yeah, we would leave our doors so broken, we had to leave it wide open. Like it would just be wide open. But I couldn't handle that. So I would like just shove it in there. But pretty much me, Maddie, and Beth, we left the house to go to Starbucks and we came back.
When was this?
I don't know, like 2-3 weeks ago.
2 to 3 weeks before the event.
Holy
as of
shit!
right now.
Answer your phone.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe more, maybe a little bit less.
You went to Starbucks over by them all.
Yeah, that one. And we come back home and the door's wide open. So we call Ethan. We're like, Ethan, are you home? He goes, no. And we tell him what's going on. He just laughs. Like, it's not a big of a deal. Like, you guys are fine. So we walk in and our washer's going. And that was normal. Like, we were all washing clothes. And it made a sound. We all screamed because we were freaked out. And we go into the spare bedroom on the right. And we just grabbed Ethan's golf clubs. And, like, we were kind of joking around. But we were also kind of scared. Like, it was like, oh, like, no one's going to actually be here. Like, nothing ever happens. But we were also, like, kind of, like, just kind of creepy, you know?
So the door was closed when you left.
We don't know. We don't know if we closed it. We have no clue.
Okay.
Yeah. And the door was broken. So we don't know if it was like, that was when it snowed. So maybe like the wind busted open or like, we just didn't know. So we got like Ethan's golf clubs. We went through the whole entire house, Noah's house. We're like, okay, like we were just being stupid. Like stop, like we need to stop freaking out, you know, like just calm down. And those are the only like 3 weird things I would say.
Did you guys ever call the police?
No, because it was just no, like it was just like you don't want to be that person that calls and it's like nothing, you know, like it wasn't that big of a deal. Nor was the door thing. Like no one was in the house. We're like, okay, like it doesn't matter, it's fine.
Did any of your roommates ever say to you that they have been freaked out by somebody recently? That in any interactions, if they worked, I saw 2 of them worked at the Greek, that Greek.
They never had anything weird, never. And like we would always talk about stuff. We never had anything weird. Remember one night, this was pretty recently, she heard someone scream.
True crime
so
audio.
She had one of our friends who lives at Identity pick her up and stay the night there. But none of us, the rest of us heard that. So we're like, okay, that didn't freak us out. We were just like, okay, whatever. Like
because only one of the 6 of you heard it.
Yeah, and it wasn't like we have so many people, like we have a lot of neighbors around us, like again, like Moscow's small. Like I have friends that go to Seattle and Chicago, they have some weird shit happen, but it wouldn't happen in Moscow, you know? Like you never expect that. And nothing bad's happened here in a long, long time. So you just didn't think about it really. I mean, like, yeah, I would get freaked out at night just because that's how I am. I always get freaked out at night, just like worrying that someone's there, but there never was.
So I have to ask you a question, and it's not a judgment. So why you're thinking, I believe what you're telling me, but you're not telling Detective Sergeant Blaker and I anything that will prevent us from solving this. You're not trying to fill in pieces. Because I'm not saying maliciously to prevent us or because that won't help us. Do you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I understand.
And it's not a judgment.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. We don't want to follow this path and spend time. Really, you're not absolutely certain, but there are some things. I think the things that you heard. Yeah. I think the crying and the voice. I don't think that you could. You could create that in your mind. Those are things something brought you out of your sleep. Yeah. You didn't sleep through this whole thing, and at 11 o'clock.
No, I mean, I can tell I was awake because I was calling and texting people, and I remember
your evidence that you were up. And you were moving around. Yeah, and I from the things I saw, it's like what I remember, but again, like I don't know how real it is. Like I don't know if my mind made it up or if I did, or like if it was actually real or something. Like not I did, but like saying if my mind made it up or if it was real. So the voice you heard, you believe you heard I believe I did hear that, and I believe I did hear someone crying. Kaylee, I guess I should. I believed at that moment I heard Kaylee crying. And you believed you heard a male voice saying. I believed I heard a male voice saying. Plunder. It's okay, I'm gonna help. And it wasn't directed at you. Not directed. I know it was not directed at me because it was more distant. I could tell it was not towards me at all. So this is a question I have to ask. Yeah. If he saw you, why do you believe you were spared? I don't know. I've been asking that nonstop. It kind of freaks me out because I'm just like,
I don't really understand why I was spared. Like, I'm a girl. I am 5'10". I'm not that insanely strong. A guy is a lot stronger than I am. If he wanted to hurt me, he would have. That's what I don't understand. And I've just been like wondering, like, did he know me? Did he not know me? Like, was it because he didn't know me and didn't want, like, and felt bad, or was it because he didn't know me and wouldn't recognize him? Like, what was it? That's why it's just like, that's why I want to. It's like, if we do find this guy, that's like one of the first things I want to know is like, why did you not? You didn't open. He never ever tried to open my door. That's what I know. Nothing. Like, no one tried to open my door. Like, he could have stabbed it. Like, from what we know now was a knife. He could have stabbed the knife or tried to open my door. Anything. You probably could have kick down that door if you wanted to, but he never did.
So I do know this in the detective sergeant. He passed by occupied rooms that posed a risk that he would be apprehended if you hurt him. So the question is, he passed by occupied rooms to go to other occupied rooms.
Yeah.
So he had to go by your room to get to the other two rooms.
Unless he got, I mean, some climbing that balcony up there. I don't know if someone could climb it, but I feel like if someone really, really wanted to.
Dude, she totally knows way more. It just is obvious. It's starting to seep through right now. Right? So Gooch is, whether people want to say she's in on the cover up or not, I don't know. They probably all are. But at least it's really starting to kind of come through that she's like, well, unless he climbed up that back patio, right?
They could. I mean, I don't know how.
Was there snow there, though? There was snow, correct?
I think so. I don't know if it was snowing that night.
I think they would have found shoe impressions, but I'm not planting a seed to make you
I know
that you'll never sleep again. That is not my goal.
Yeah, I know.
But we're trying to figure out, is it somebody you knew that knew that was your room and bypassed the room because they weren't intent on harming you?
I mean, that's what doesn't make sense. Is like,
come on,
they had to have known our layout to want to go past my room, to not go to Katie.
Occupied room.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I don't. From what I remember, I don't think I locked my door that night. I don't think I did, and that's what weirds me out. Is that if I didn't, how did he go past my room, not even care that I was in the room? Like, he probably knew all of us were at home that night. And it's just like, I feel like it is someone that we know, and I feel like it's someone that had probably been in our house either last year when girls used to live there or this year somehow. I don't know. It just is weird to me that, like, me and Ben talking about it, like, he had to out the house. He never went to the room. What if Kaylee was living down there? He wouldn't have known unless he knew us and knew the house. That doesn't make sense.
Well, in our world, to pass an occupied room,
it's
to
really
go
weird.
to unoccupied rooms becomes concerning if the direction comes from the door he enters. Has to make him walk by your.
Like, my door is almost right in. That's the first room you see. He didn't go to my room.
That's why we wondered if you know him.
That's what I mean. That's what it has to be. Like, he had to have known who lived in what room,
dude.
like where
Can you
everyone
think
was.
of who that could be?
No, there's no one. Like, every person that like knew Kaylee, Xana, Ethan, and Maddie loved them. They never had any grudges. Like, everyone loved them. It was never like, I never heard anyone say, "Oh, I hate them. I hate this. They did this. They did that." They never had any bad things said to them ever.
That they told you.
Yeah, that they told me, or like what I heard. I mean, like, in Moscow, once a rumor starts, doesn't go away. Everyone hears about it. Like, it's just such a small town that, for a college town, I guess I would say, everyone knows everything. So like, if someone hated,
except for about this, right?
this person, you would know. And I never knew.
Did they ever say they had an issue with a patron at the Mad Creek?
Never.
What about an ex-boyfriend or anything like that?
No, I know Kaylee and broke up, but I talked to Kaylee about that, and she was like, "Yeah, we mutually liked this. We're still friends. We still talk. We're still on good terms. We share Murphy. Like, we're good." And
Like they co-parent Murphy?
yes, like that. And I trusted. And I mean, I didn't know him as well as I guess I didn't know him as well as I knew Ethan, but I trusted him. He was a super nice guy. Never, ever, ever had I heard him be rude to Kaylee once in my life. Never heard anything. And from talking, because we all talk about relationships and stuff, like, I never heard Kaylee say, "Yeah, he did that." Like, nothing ever concerning ever came. I think it was just like, they've been dating for such a long time. It was time to like roll its course. That's what she said. It's like, it's time to roll its course. Like, we mutually decided it's time.
How long did you date him for?
I don't know. I think it was, I don't know. I mean, you could probably figure it out from social media. Or talking to her mom. I don't know.
Or Jen as well?
Yeah, as well.
So she told you that you handled it well. Did you see that you handled it well?
Yeah. He came up, like, he would come over and talk with Kaylee and play with Murphy. And it was never weird, ever.
Was she dating anyone else? or seen anyone?
She started talking to me,
True crime
and I believe she
audio.
knew, and it wasn't like a big deal at all. I mean, the whole on the video on Twitch of the grub chuck and is that's kind of what made us interested in that, because I guess you know that had anger issues. He was a hunter. He had multiple hunting weapons. I mean, I'm not saying it's him because I can't see that. Like that could ruin his life and he could not be it, you know? But from what I know, I don't know if you know this yet, but my friend who was best friend with Xana, we went to like a balloon ceremony for all of them. And I was talking about, she said, yeah, one time, like he just like, I guess I can both tell you that he like kneed one of their best friends in the stomach and like just pretty much beat her up for some reason, which I don't know why you would beat up a girl. Doesn't make sense. But he was kicked out of for anger issues. He didn't have any connections with except for which Kaylee was talking, which is just a weird coincidence. Like it could have just been coincidence. We don't know. I mean, it's just like that's the only thing we can think of, and I don't know. It's just weird.
Who did he punch in the stomach?
I don't know her last name, but I know her really well.
Did she call the police on that or make a report?
No, I mean, I don't think she did.
What was the issue with her?
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. I mean, you could probably try and talk to her about that. She would probably know. She knows more than I do. I mean, all like this part of is all hearsay. Like it's not what I know. It's what other people know that I've told.
That's important.
Yeah.
What is name?
I have to look at her last name.
Please.
I believe.
What?
Let me look at her Instagram real quick.
Please.
Sorry. Well, hold on. I don't. I currently don't have my insurance. I had to deactivate it.
No, that's okay. We can figure it out. We have
Okay.
access to the school records as well.
Yeah,
She's
that would
doing
probably
there
be-
as well.
Well, she used to be, but now she's at. Maybe I think
Was that a recent event?
yeah. She decided to switch. Like last year, she finished out UVI and then switched to CWI. Like as of CWI as of this semester, I believe.
So who told you the story about punching in the stomach?
It was,
Okay.
and then I talked about that earlier today, and she explained that a little bit more. So they both know about that. And which I think you wrote down her last name. Last name.
Yes, how to spell it. So most of the students have left up there. Do you happen to have any phone numbers for any of these people?
Huh?
Do you happen to have phone numbers for any of these young?
I think you guys have her phone number as well because she's at the station with us.
She was at the KG with us?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Sorry, my dad keeps calling me. I'm just gonna text them back real quick.
This is your stepdad? Are they out there freezing?
Stepdad, that's supposed to get out there. My actual dad.
Are you freezing them out?
No, we have a casita back there that has heating.
Okay,
I'll
I was
text
worried.
them
I
back.
was thinking we're going outside and we're going to keep them there 2 hours. It's like 20 degrees.
Sorry, I'll just text them.
So I always ask this because I don't know everything, neither does Detective Sergeant Blaker. I know everything about what you know. Is there something he haven't asked of you that is important for us to know? That you think, why didn't they ask me? And so we're going to ask you, is there something that we haven't covered that you think is important for us to figure out what happened?
Nothing right now. I mean, the only weird thing that we had was that no one took the station, which I know you guys are doing now, which I'm totally free to give up. But the one thing is about the DNA stuff is Friday night we did have a party, and you have most of those people, but like there's going to be a lot of DNA, and we had parties about every single week. That was normal. We did deep cleans, but like I don't know if you can take away every single DNA just from a deep clean. I don't think you can. So it's just like I hope you find something, but it may be really hard because we have people over all the time.
Yeah,
When
we
did you
understand.
do the deep clean?
When was do you know when Parents Weekend was?
Yes, it was the weekend.
So that I did the deep clean either Wednesday or Thursday. I think we did both days. I'm pretty sure.
Plunder.
Well, what's important
True
is there
crime
is evidence
audio.
in the scene that the offender left, and that's what we're going to focus on.
There is.
So that's important for you to know.
Hang on.
Plunder.
Well, what's
True
important is there
crime
is evidence
audio.
in the scene that the offender left. Focus on.
There is.
It's important for you to know is that you need some help.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's important. I'm glad that you're volunteering, that you're willing.
Yeah, I mean, I like when they asked my phone, I was like, I don't care what you find. I don't give two shits. Like, I just want you to find this guy. That's all I care about.
Is there anything you want to ask of us?
I don't know if you can tell me, but is there any people of interest, anything?
Well, some of the ones that he's been provided for.
You know, I'm not saying that this is obviously what happened here. I'm just going to play something, but right here.
Both days, I'm pretty sure.
Offender left, and that's what we're going to
Listen.
focus on.
There is.
It kind of reminded me of this dude.
WGXA first interviewed McDaniel the day after Lauren Giddings was reported missing in June of 2011. Reporter Michelle Casada found him standing outside the apartment building where he and Giddings had lived, and that we now know was the scene of the crime. The story and his alibi. Take a look.
Person that was living there? Yeah, Lauren was my neighbor. We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I mean, the last time anyone heard from her was an email that she sent out, and no one's heard from her since.
And did you see her hang out with anyone at the time or anything like that?
I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I mean, you always hear noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently graduated from Mercer?
Yeah, she and I we were both JD students. We graduated back in May.
What kind of person was she? I mean, what did you see her?
I mean, she's as nice as can be. I mean, very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. I mean, the only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because I mean, we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but I mean, she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. I mean, door was locked when everyone got here. I mean, we just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they had recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body.
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's how we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
I'm not saying that whatever. You guys get my point. It was just that the tone of there is, like how he said it. That's all that I was saying. So don't get your panties in a bunch.
So that's important for you to know. Left, and that's what we're going to focus on.
There is.
So that's important for you to know is that you need some help.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's important. I'm glad that you're volunteering, that you're willing.
Yeah, I mean, I like when they asked my phone, I was like, I don't care what you find. I don't give two shits. Like, I just want you to find this guy. That's all I care about.
Is there anything you want to ask of us?
I don't know if you can tell me, but is there any people of interest, anything?
Well, some of the ones that he's been provided for, we're doing the follow-up. Those are the first ones we're doing follow-up.
So there are people of interest?
Yes,
but
not suspects.
Not suspects,
so
people of interest.
What's important is we're like you. We don't want to ruin somebody's reputation.
That makes
if they
sense.
have no involvement whatsoever.
That's what my mom was telling me. Is they're not going to in the press conference. They can't say anything if they're people of interest because that would just let's say it isn't. That would ruin his whole entire life, So I understand that part. You can't say someone's a
You're
suspect.
important though. I mean, we're not trying to put extra pressure on you, but you're important because maybe you did see. You're the only eyewitness that put somebody in that house.
Yeah.
That's why it's important if you can sort through it with who's your may I ask?
Oh, what's your name?
I mean, they're qualified. They did this. I don't make light of this because I work with victims all the time with trauma. Right? They didn't just start their practice yesterday. This is somebody established.
Yeah. It's in a practice. I can't remember her name. What's her name?
And she's been doing it a while.
Yeah, she's been doing it for a while.
So can you keep working with?
Yeah, I'm going to. I met with her yesterday. Really liked her. She's really calming, and I feel good with her.
And the good thing is, I've worked with victims for 42 years. The further away you get from it, you're going to start piecing things together. The trauma is just too raw and too real right now.
Yeah.
And you've lost your friends.
Yeah.
That's compounding. These are people you were connected to.
Yeah.
And you cared about. In time, things will start to fall into place. And for your own peace of mind, I want that to happen for you. I'm not selfish. Yes, it is somewhat about the case, but it's also important that at some point in your life, you get to move on beyond this trauma.
Yeah. So let's say like somehow I piece something together. Should I call you and be like, hey, like I remembered something? Like,
call me. I have a business.
But what if it's something like I don't? But all this is like I don't know for sure. Even if I don't know for sure, but I think this is a piece of my memory. Should I still?
Yes.
Okay.
Because what if it is real?
Yeah.
And we don't know about it.
I mean, that's the main thing is like, I wish I could understand if anything of this was real. Like seeing that guy again, like it was just like cloudy. Like what if he wasn't even there? But like after everything that's happened, like I think he was there. But it's like how much do I actually know is real? How much do I think is like made up in my mind?
Do you think you can remember enough of him to give a composite for a composite artist?
No.
Not enough.
No, I don't remember what his eyes look like. I don't remember what his nose looked like. I just remember eyebrows. I don't know exactly what his eyebrows look like at all. Really, I just remember thinking like eyebrows. So like I couldn't even like.
Earlier you said because they were bushy.
Yeah, bushy, but that's all. Like I don't remember the shape. I don't remember like the color. I just remember like bushy eyebrows. That's the only thing I can remember.
And when you saw him outside your door, was he moving? Was there movement going on?
I've been trying to think through this, and I've been trying to think like what do I remember from that? And I just like I don't remember if he was just like standing there or if he was walking. But what I think was going on was that he was like slowly walking like across from the living room to the kitchen out the sliding door. That's what I think I remember.
So I haven't been to the house. Is there a drop from the sliding door, or can you walk out onto the street without having?
So pretty much you go out to the sliding door. There's just like this gray cement patio thing. Then let's just say your back is at the outside of the door and you're looking outside. To the right, you have to go. Like there's like some rocks and some bushes you have to walk down. Then to your left, there's just like this hill, like these bushes, and then like kind of to the back side, you can walk past my window. And there's like this hill of like bushes and stuff, and then up there's like houses. So I mean, it would be kind of hard to like run up it or run down it because there's all those like rocks and stuff.
Especially in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so I'm kind of confused. Like, if there wasn't there, why that way? Like that doesn't seem like the smartest and fastest way. But I mean,
which direction is the front door from your bedroom?
The front door, you have to go, again, out to the living room and downstairs. When you hit the bottom of the stairs, directly to your right is the door. So it's like kind of a little bit of a walk.
So it's a typical tri-level?
Yeah, typical, pretty much.
Okay. Can you think of anything else right now?
No, I'm trying to. Oh, this was something else that I remember. Cars do come by a lot, but I remember looking out the window. I just remember. Well, I think it was a black truck. I don't know for sure, but like that is normal for people's cars to go by. But I don't know if that could be something. It was just a car driving past our driveway.
What time was that at?
That was right when I went down to see. So I don't know exactly when that was.
Was it moving? It was in movement.
I was moving. I wasn't stopped at all. It was moving, and like people drive by our driveway to go like around like this side housing neighborhood a little bit. Like we hear cars go by all the time. Like that's not weird, but
when you were making your way to the room,
that's not when I heard.
Oh.
It was when I got into the room. I don't know why I looked out the window, but I looked when I saw a car like driving by, and I believe it was I guess I shouldn't say I believe because I don't know for sure, but I think it was a black truck. But I don't know for sure. It could have been. It was just dark, and I thought it was a black truck.
But there was a vehicle there.
Yeah, but it was like it wasn't stopped. It was moving, and like. From my window, again, my window is like, if like, let's say this is the front of my room, this is my back room, this is my window right here. There's like a neighbor, I guess you know, there's that neighborhood up there. I can hear cars go by right there all the time. Like that's normal. It doesn't weird me out. And I like, from what I think the car was just going up to that neighborhood. But again, I don't know. But I thought I'd just let you know, just in case it
could have been a suspect.
Yeah, like I don't know. It could have been, but who knows?
And you said you sure it was a truck?
I don't know. I think it was a black truck from what I'm thinking, but again, I don't know for sure.
Were the headlights on?
I couldn't even remember. I can't remember that at all.
What drew your attention to it?
I think I just wanted to look at the window for some reason. I don't know why, but I remember seeing the red lights on the back of the truck.
Brake lights?
Yeah, I don't really know why. I remember seeing that. It was like, I don't remember if there were headlights or not. I just don't know about that. But I just remember seeing the red lights kind of.
You've been through a lot. In time, you'll remember more. From my experience working with victims, you'll remember more. So anything, even if you don't think it's significant, we would still want to know.
Yeah.
What are your plans? Are your plans just to stay here? It's a hard decision right now, isn't it?
Right now, there's a candlelight memorial I'm going to with some of my friends. That will be, I think, just like when I got to, I guess I gave the name. They all knew Maddie. Talking to them was really nice because, so they were super close. And it's just like nice knowing that other people are going through this too. Like it's not just us. Like there are so many people. Really? It's interesting.
So I have to ask you because I never did. And I think Detective Sergeant Blaker would probably have asked you this. Who's the one that called 911?
So I guess I'll start from that morning. I woke up. I don't really know.
Why can't you just say a name, Dylan? Why do you have to start from that morning? So who called 911? Just say a name. Why do you have to start from that morning?
And I know that she called. I think that she called. I called her at 10:50, but I believe it was later.
The same.
No. I don't know how I knew, but because I'm looking at everything.
Also, if you guys think that the audio is cutting out, I don't know if it's distorted a little bit. I think there's just at times that much of a redaction. Like somebody redacted it that much. It's heavily redacted.
And they're like, the call was at 12. So I think I called her close to like 11:50. I think it was 11:50, not 10:50 from what I remember, but it could have been 10:50. Maybe I just am mixing everything up. Again, that was on Snapchat because I didn't have her number at that moment. So it probably has gone away now. Pretty much I woke up and I kept like going in and out and I kept having these dreams of like this woman, I remember just having this like big nose and she was wearing all black and it was like a joke that they were coming to the house like trying to prank people. Like I just had these dreams about this guy but it was actually a woman. She was super nice and eventually like just these weird dreams about everything. And I woke up and I couldn't remember if all of that was a dream. I couldn't remember if I didn't know any of it. So I looked at my text messages and I saw I had texted about that. And I was like, okay, like now I'm kind of weirded out. Like, I don't know how much of it was real. Like I thought I imagined it.
Where's when you wake up?
Right next to me in bed. We wouldn't even go outside to go pee because didn't know like what was going on. We didn't know if someone was there. Like it just, I don't know. We just didn't want to deal with that, you know? We woke up and I was like, are you awake? She's like, kind of so. And so I have the text messages. Let me go to it real quick.
And you're in?
Yes, in the basement. Sorry, I have to go through so many texts. So I texted Maddie at 11:23, are you up? And I had looked at her. So I have Maddie's Find My iPhone. And because she was at home, I was like, okay, like they're fine. Like, you know, nothing happened. Like she's at home, you know, that's what you
did
think.
See your phones.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like well, if your friends are home, like you think you're safe, you know, like that's just what you immediately think. So I guess Maddie texted at 11:23. Kaylee, I texted. Oh, I guess that would have been 10:23 in Moscow time. Sorry, that keeps confusing me. I would have texted Kaylee at 11:29 in Moscow time. Are you up?
Kaylee?
Yeah.
11:29 a.m.
Yeah, and then I kept on Snapchat. I don't know if you know this, but you can have your location on that. I don't know if So Xana and Ethan always have their location on it, and it wasn't turning on. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like maybe they were just really drunk, you know. And they're sleeping in pretty late. I then called my friend.
Wait, what did she say about that location?
It wasn't turning on, so I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like maybe they were just really drunk, you know. And they're sleeping in pretty late. I then called my friend and I said, I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know if I made it up, but I think there was someone here. And I don't know if it's true. And I told her about the whole black mask suit situation, and she thought it like I talked to her today, and she was like, I was kind of freaked out about that. I just thought it was like another one of those like, oh, you're just scared for the night, you know? Because I just talked to her a little bit ago. And so she sent over that guy that was with us.
So boyfriend is
Yes. The Chapin is boyfriend. So I called and I told her, like, I'm kind of freaked out, like we don't know what's going on.
That's how heavily redacted it is. That's insane.
Paul was the one that had that blue car parked out. So he came over and he walked in the door. We were kind of freaked out, like, who is that? He goes, it's just.
So the door was unlocked?
No, he knew the code. Well, I guess I wouldn't even know. I guess I would have to ask him because we told people that we knew very close what our code was. I don't know if he knew the code or if the door was unlocked. I'm going to be honest. I don't know.
So he came alone?
Yes, at first. He came by himself at first.
What time do you think that was?
Oh, I have no clue.
Okay,
so a little bit before 12 because I guess the call was at 12. So I'm going to guess a little bit before then. And he walked upstairs and he's like, what do you have? Like to protect. I go, there's knives.
So it's now noon. Is she still drunk? Is she still messed up? This whole thing started from Gooch asking her, who called 911? And then she said, let's start in the morning. Still not to the answer of that question.
The kitchen, just kitchen little knives.
He was asking, what do you have as far as a weapon?
Yes, just in case, because he was kind of freaked out. That's when I saw Xana again, and she was in the same position, and that's what freaked me out, was that she hadn't moved at all, and I was like, okay, she's just unconscious. She's just drank too much. She's unconscious. And I just started bawling, and I stayed down downstairs, but at the door, and I was upstairs.
You went up with Hunter?
I went up with Hunter. I just started bawling because I was like, I didn't think dead at all. That never crossed my mind once. Never, ever, ever that crossed my mind. I just thought she's unconscious. She's not waking up. Like she just drank too much, So I go downstairs and I start crying because I'm really freaked out. Like everything is stressing me out. And start coming up from those little mini stairs from the White's permit. And I'm like, she's not waking up. Like she's not waking up. Like I don't know what to do. She's unconscious. And I don't know if I made sense to them at all because I was freaking out.
Why did you come over?
Because I called them.
Okay, because you called them and they came in. Okay.
They sent first because the guy, just I don't know. Comes down. You can tell when someone's freaked out by something, and he was freaked out, and he said, "Call the police right now." And me and just like we don't know what to do. We didn't think we just thought maybe she was unconscious still.
So you hadn't seen her. So you're not saying she's. You didn't realize the magnitude of the issue.
Yeah, I didn't see Ethan in there, but Ethan was in there, and I don't know what anything looked like. I just saw again her legs and the top of her head. That's all I saw. I didn't see anything else.
That's why we're asking, because when you called and said unconscious.
Whoa. Did you guys catch that?
I didn't see Ethan in there, but Ethan was in there, and I don't know what anything looked like. I just saw again her legs and the top of her head. That's all I saw.
Her legs on the top of her head?
Ethan was in there, and I don't know what anything looked like. I just saw again her legs and the top of her head. That's all I saw.
Her legs and the top of her head? Her legs and the top of her head? Okay.
Ethan was in there, and I don't know what anything looked like. I just saw again her legs and the top of her head. That's all I saw. I didn't see anything else.
That's why we're asking, because when you called and said unconscious, we're wondering after seeing what he told me he saw, would say unconscious because you never saw that.
I never saw anything. So they were asleep at first. I don't know how much he saw. All I know is he was freaked out. He said, "I think they're just asleep." And when we were talking a little bit later, I asked him about it, and he was like, "I thought they were asleep. Don't feel bad. You didn't know. I thought they were asleep too, because I felt terrible about it. I thought that she was just asleep." And so obviously he came down the stairs and he was like, "Call the police right now." And so this one that called it.
Okay.
I don't know if me and her could barely talk. I don't know if they gave the phone or at some point I got the phone back and I was like, Xana is unconscious. And I think I said the address, or I can't remember. Again, this whole moment of the morning was the most stressful, freaked out of my life. And this woman was on the phone and she was like, okay, something about defibrillator. I remember, and I asked the police that was coming. I was like, do you have a defibrillator? I said, yes. And so she says, okay, someone's here. And I said, yes, but can I tell you the whole story? She goes, no, she just said no, that someone's there. And then I was like, okay, goodbye, whatever. I don't remember how many policemen came there. All I remember was like just crying and freaking out because we were so like we just didn't know what was going on. And then this policeman, he questioned me, and I told him about the whole night. And I tried to tell him as best as I could, but obviously I was like out of it. And he was talking to me, then talking to other people, talking to me. So it was kind of like kept leaving and going, which I understand. He had to handle the situation, not his fault at all. And then I just remember putting the tape up, and that's when I just dropped to the floor and started crying because I was like, "This is not okay. Like, you only put the tape up when there's a crime. Like, you don't ever put the tape up, really." And I remember we all started freaking out, and then Xana and Ethan didn't come out, and the ambulance, like the people with the ambulance, like the people came and then they left, and it's like they didn't come back. That means they were here for 5 minutes. That's how you know. And I just remember we all started bawling our eyes out, like we didn't understand what was going on. And I remember I kept asking, like, where's Xana and Kaylee? Because, I mean, where's Maddie and Kaylee? Because Maddie's location was at home still. I was like, where's Maddie and Kaylee? Where are they? Like, can you please tell me? And they wouldn't tell me. And I think the moment we really knew that something, like, one of them was gone was because that vandal alert. And obviously, she was pissed off. She goes, like, why the fuck did you not tell us this? Why did we get a stupid, like, text? And the policeman was like, you were not supposed to know that right now. Like, you just weren't. And we were obviously pissed off, but, like, I mean, we don't know what their job is, you know, like we can't, you know, I don't know. I think that's when we realized that they were actually gone, and I screenshot it to my mom and I called her, and I just like was crying and freaking out. And I think it was before that I knew Maddie and Kaylee were gone. I don't really know how, I don't know who told me. But that was just like, I couldn't understand it. Like, I just remember crying and freaking out. Like, how did I not know? Like, how were we asleep and we didn't know that they were dead? Like, how did we not know? I don't, like, we just never made that, never ever made that connection that a murder would be in the house. We just never knew that. Like, our friends were home. It was fine. We were in the house. So
I know you know this. For whatever reason, you were spared. So don't let this define you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
One day we'll make sense of it, but we have to figure out who did this to understand why, right? We don't have, that's what you can tell me where you were, when you were there, what you were doing, where they were, but we don't have the answer for you why. Yeah. And that's going to be Detective Sergeant Blaker's job, is to figure out why this happened and then get an answer from the person responsible for it and hold them responsible for this. Yeah. So you're going to do this. This is a process, right? Probably told you, this does not resolve overnight. And it does, and it takes years. It takes people years. But there is a reason why that this didn't happen to you too. So all I would want to say to you is that remember there was a reason you were given a second chance. Yeah. And do right by yourself and your friends. Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing, like me and I just feel like we wanted to know, like, what made someone want to do this to such good people and what made them not want to hurt us whatsoever, because they never went on a and they never went to my room. If they did get through the sliding door, then they had to have passed my room.
If not, though, because I haven't seen the layout of your house.
Yeah.
What door would they have used not to pass by your bedroom?
Well, I mean, to go the front door, you still have to pass around to go to Kaylee's room.
Yes.
But Kaylee always was kind of freaked out because that balcony. I feel like if a guy really wanted to, I feel like he could climb up if he wanted to. So, and I remember we're looking at pictures of like the whole news thing, and our curtains were all kind of messed up, and that was like what made us kind of think like
that could have been law enforcement doing that as well. You know, those pictures come after the fact. How far is it from the ground to the balcony?
I don't know. How much do you think? I mean, you've seen the house.
9 to 10 feet.
Like if someone wanted to, I feel like they could.
But why do that if the doors are unlocked?
I know, but
and then the risk you run is if you're crawling up the side of a house, somebody's going to see you doing that, and you run the risk, a higher risk, of somebody calling that in, as opposed to just walking in the front door to a house that's very active with people.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess.
But I don't know that. Do you know? Maybe that did happen. But the risk that an offender runs into is if you're scaling a 9-foot high wall to get into a room, somebody is going to pass by and see that and report that, and then whatever your plan is has just been interrupted by that.
And that would make more sense, but I just don't understand why my room, like, I guess if you're taking DNA, you can see my door handle and see if.
Well, that would be normal. That'd be normal because you'd be there, but you're thinking somebody else's stranger DNA.
Yeah, maybe try to open the door, but if I did lock my door, then maybe that's why they didn't go to my room, because my door was already locked, but I don't know if it was locked or not.
So this is a really odd question because most people don't do this. did you check all of when you first got back did you go through your house to make certain nobody else was in it?
No, that never, I don't know. We just didn't care about that. If we were with people, we weren't worried.
When you came home to get in your own house, did you have to unlock the door to come in?
I think so, yes. I think I had to punch my code so our door, there's like, you twist it. So there's like a little thing that you twist, if it's vertical, it's unlocked. If it's horizontal, it's locked. And me and were like checking it out to make sure that it was locked a while ago, and we always kept it horizontal, and I would check to make sure it was horizontal. So I think the front door was locked. I mean,
you came back to have popcorn and watch the movie.
Yeah, I mean, we would still like, even if I let's say the door was unlocked, I still would have typed in the code to open the door, and it would just open right away. So I don't know if it was locked or if it wasn't.
Plunder, true crime,
Maybe this
audio.
person was there first, and then you guys came to the house and he was already there. I would want to know that.
Yeah.
If you can remember. The other thing is, you can interview and ask, I know she was drunk though.
Yeah,
to see if she remembers if you had unlocked the door to come in.
Yeah.
And do you know, when you got home, because it was cold, right?
Yeah.
Was the sliding door open or closed when you got home?
It was closed. Because I remember we were making popcorn, and that would have freaked me out if the door was open, but I don't know if it was locked or not. That probably don't know, but I do know that the door was locked. The door is closed because I don't know, that door just being open kind of freaked me out.
Where was Murphy when you got home?
Oh, I let him out. I forgot to add that. He was upstairs, and I let him out to go potty real quick.
So you went upstairs?
Yeah. So I guess I don't know how I forgot about that. Sorry.
That's okay. Whose room was he in?
Kaylee's, because it's mostly Kaylee's dog. So I heard him whining. I was like, okay, I'll go get him. Took him outside for a second. So I know no one was in Kaylee's room. Her lights were on. I know that for sure. Her lights were on. I took Murphy outside, and I just kept looking. Whenever I go outside in the dark, I'm always looking at my surroundings. Didn't see anything. I know that. Looked around, brought him inside after he went potty or whatever, and then he was Lake and him were hanging out a little bit. Then I brought him back upstairs. So, yeah, I don't know. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's okay. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah. What time? It's.
Yeah.
So are you comfortable if I leave your business card as well? So I'm here. He's in Moscow. If you think of anything, if you're more comfortable with him, you're welcome to call him. If you're comfortable, I'm going to give you a business card with my cell phone.
Okay.
You have some questions?
Only one question I really have now at this point is, did you happen to know the login or username and password for the router?
No. I believe it was Kaylee who dealt with the Wi-Fi stuff, not me. I know so Xana dealt with I think power or something, and then either Xander and Maddie did water, one of them utility, whatever, light or power, whatever, and then Kaylee did Wi-Fi.
Okay.
That's all I know, because me and Ben were in charge of that stuff because we were just moving in. So.
Is there anything we haven't asked that you think it's important we cover?
No, I do have some follow-up questions about just stuff, but no, not for the purpose of the interview.
Then I'm going to terminate on my audio recording the interview concluding at 2:11 p.m. on the 17th of November 2022.
Well, all right, Hive. That was quite the interview. That was a long one. That was 2 hours, and I've been streaming for 3. I just want to say thank you to Choppa333. I did not see the super chat pop up, but I do remember when you had said, or when Dylan had said she saw that guy again. Yes, that's very odd that she would say again after that, when she saw that guy again. And Michelle Vibe Happy 87 says, I know you'll get taxed on this, but if no one's familiar with the Life is Good brand, that is where good vibes come from. 87's year, I graduated high school, so I appreciate the help from all in this live. Well, thank you so much for the big super chat, Michelle Vibe Happy and Choppa and Mama Tata and Terry Taylor and one more Red Nightmare, Chevy Metal, Jackie Bushable, Brittany, Liz Gaspari, Jeff H. What a freaking super chat to end on for that. And with that, Hive, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for sticking it out. Thank you for hitting the like button. I will see you tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Central. Cheers. Sleep good.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new